It's time to join Team Sauron. Not Teen Sauron. He was actually... Ironically, he was actually a nice guy. Graven Ash. The Archon of War lets out a long sigh as he surveys the maps and models splayed about his desk. He glances over his shoulder, making brief eye contact with you, furrows his brow, and turns back to his contemplation. When I heard the Quakebringer was Tunon's chosen, I had a sneaking suspicion it was to pass another execution. I've grown very tired of being right. May we speak a moment? I tire of all this endless prattle. I am the Archon of War, and the Overlord has decreed battle. If you wish to help, go speak with my soldiers. Return when you have done something useful. The Archon of War pounds the haft of his maul against the ground. Fine.
Will do.
Jerks all around here. Oh, it was saying that she wanted, yeah, I think she wants to talk to me. Speak with Verse. Verse, how did you do that? Verse looks at you with a quizzical expression. Do what? Back in the Archon's war tent, you cast an edict as casually as reading a supply shipment. How did you do that? I don't wish to discuss it. I'm not trying to make you feel uncomfortable. It's just worth recognizing what you've done. Not only are you Tunon's Fatebinder, you're the mouthpiece of the Overlord. Gives me plenty of reason to stick around. You're going places, and I want to see where they lead. If you say so, I have some questions about you.
What do you need?
Tell me about your time with the Scarlet Chorus.
The Scarlet Chorus is mostly for madmen and peasants with rusty daggers, but it's also a little niche of freedom that I never had. Once I survived training and met my Scarlet Fury sisters, I saw a different side of the howling mob.
Who are your sisters? Scarlet Chorus is little... Oh no, that's just showing me this thing. Okay. Who are your sisters? Who were they would be more appropriate. 3 Whispers, Red Geyser, and Seeking Sheath. Best fighters I ever met. There wasn't a foe we couldn't take down together. Our fighting styles complemented perfectly, so we divided up the killing work like bards sharing a song. At least we used to. She presents a solemn salute. Tell me about the 3 Whispers. She was as calm as the surface of a pond, and light on her feet. More than one foe tripped and fell on their own blade due to Whisper's crafty footwork. Verse lets her gaze slip away from you as a fleeting moment of sorrow steals her attention. Tell me about Red Geyser. A one-woman siegebreaker. She would launch herself at her foes like a battering ram. Not even a disfavored phalanx could have withstood that dumb suicidal wench. Kyros's eyes, but she was something to behold. Verse slams her fist into her palm. I really like that they constantly... You can constantly look up the cliff notes. Because games like... That's the problem with games like these. There's so many terms and places and characters. It's impossible to keep track of all of them. Tell me about Seeking Sheath. That girl could pass a spear through 12 rings from the far side of a battlefield. Kairos help any foes who approached her marching single file. She made a game of spitting as many soldiers as possible on the same javelin. What happened to them? We were scouting around Vendrian's well during the siege, back when we only suspected the guard of organizing in secret. My sisters and I came upon a group of them. Or Kairos knows. Maybe they found us. No one said anything. We drew iron and bronze. That was when everything went wrong. I was supposed to take point and occupy the guard with a dance of blade work. Something disorienting while my sisters picked their marks. I hesitated. I lost my nerve. Instead of rushing the Oathbreakers, I froze with my weapon drawn. My sisters fought on without me, but they were off balance. Like whatever I had was catching. They died. I lived. My sisters were relying on me to lead the dance, and I failed them. It's understandable. Caution stayed your hand. I gained fear. Why is she afraid of that? Caution? Save your caution for the disfavored. If we showed caution, could we have taken the bastard city or the gates of judgment? Could we have conquered the tears with anything less than our blood boiling over with rage? The song of battle ripping from our lungs? Hesitation is a rot. It's unbecoming of any chorus member, and unheard of in a Scarlet Fury. I would cut it from my body and cauterize the wound if only I knew its source. She grimaces once more and turns inward, contemplating. Any thoughts on the topic? Or are we just here to open old wounds? Any idea why you lost your nerve in battle? I wish I had an explanation. For the first time, I lost the dance. The song of murder drew silent. Instead, there was only rigid, organized control. Back to my questions about the Scarlet Chorus.
What do you need to know?
Who are the Scarlet Chorus's leaders? Well, the Voices of Nerat is the spider at the center of the web. He acts like the army belongs to him, and he only lends it to Kairos because it suits his purposes, both of which are true. The rest are all offshoots of the Voices, like the Fifth Eye. Once you get down to the rank and file, the Scarlet Chorus organize around a motley bunch of gang bosses who call the shots. What do you want to know? Tell me about the Voices of Nerat. He's a madman. That never stopped me from following his orders. Even in a legion as cutthroat as the Chorus, you know better than to get on the Voice's bad side. People who cross him, or just people he meets, don't tend to survive the experience. If he ever seems disorganized or lost, it's because he's channeling one of the personalities he's devoured over the years. His mannerisms shift over to someone else, someone who's probably long since dead. Better to die than become a part of the Voices. Through powers you can't begin to understand, the Voices of Nerat steals the minds and knowledge of his victims. You know this happened often during the campaign against the Tears. What he gains from this ability beyond his apparent madness is anyone's guess. You know better than to ask him about it directly. What makes the Voices of Nerat so powerful? He's the Archon of Secrets, and he didn't earn that title lightly. People say that he knows more than every sage in the Tears combined, and that he can think 1,000 steps ahead of the other Archons. It would be putting it lightly to say he's never alone under the disapproving helmet of his. If you make secrets your business, I guess having people constantly whisper in your ear is a good thing. I usually want people to shut up, but to each their own. Tell me about the Fifth Eye. A walking nightmare, that one. I couldn't begin to guess who lives under that armor and speaks with that reedy voice, but I'll tell you what I know. When your world is built on secrets, it pays to have a few extra eyes. The Voices of Nerat has eyes in abundance, some that he keeps close, and others that he sends out into the wilderness. Whoever the fifth eye was before he came into the Archon's service, now he's just a half-mad, jabbering speech hole, a bodily function. In other words, an eye. Wait, Nerat's eyes are people? Maybe they used to be people. Whatever they were, they're eyes now. Folks like to whisper that the voices of Nerat takes his servants and cuts out all the extra parts that they don't need. She makes a quick snipping gesture with her fingers. I once heard the voices in the fifth eye in a tent together. The voices kept screaming, "Redundancies! Redundancies!" every time another gout of blood would spray on the canvas walls. I can't even guess what he was cutting out. How many eyes does the Archon of Secrets have? The number keeps changing, either because it grows or because rumors don't mean shit. 3, 7, 19. Some even say that all of us are eyes and we don't even know it. She shakes her head in thoughtful disapproval. Back to my other questions about the Scarlet Chorus leaders. Go on, then. Tell me about the gang bosses. A boss is anyone who can rally enough support to kill the previous boss. They cling to command until someone gets wise and stabs them in the back. Tipcap leads the Filthy Lambs. Lox leads the Rusted Harps. Sharp used to lead the Bone Boys. Couldn't say where he ended up after they broke his legs. Waterwheel orders around the Hairy Hunters. Halls for Shit leads the Lazy Malkins. Then Scurvy Queen, Finger Food, and Wild Gash collectively lead the Ladies of Perpetual Strangulation. I'm forgetting at least a dozen more. I've even led a gang or two in my day. They never survive very long, so no point in getting attached. You led a gang? Don't act so surprised. I can crack a whip better than any of those daisies at the disfavored labor camps. But I was never that interested in the power struggle, of those grunts and scabs in the middle. I wanted to stand up on the top like an apex predator. Here I am. So when I got tired of a gang, I disbanded and let the other bosses fight over the new recruits. That much amused me, at least. Some of my old mates are still alive and hanging around wherever they ended up. Back to my questions about the Scarlet Chorus. I like your curiosity. Tell me about your training.
For new recruits shoved to the front lines, surviving the first battle. Anything beyond that is for the fighters who show potential, whether as blade dancers or arcane madmen.
I don't understand why it keeps muting every time I click off the screen. It does not seem very necessary. Okay, sorry about that. Where was I?
There's nothing in the world like getting put through the paces as a Scarlet Fury. Every day is a test of your commitment and passion. Failure means death. The first few weeks were the hardest, but also the most rewarding. I earned my name, picked up some quality weapons, and met my sisters.
You earned your name? If you think a simple farmer from the Tiers would name her child Verse, I suggest you visit my old village. Most of them were walking around with surnames like Barrel or Fish. Not the most creative bunch. She smirks and shakes her head. The chorus takes your name away. Whoever you were before, you aren't that person anymore. Then you earn back a name through great deeds, usually murderous ones. That's why you see choirmen walking around with names like Stinkmouse or Face First. There's probably a good reason for it. The voices of Nerat gave me this name. When the Scarlet Chorus runs howling into battle, he doesn't hear war. He hears a symphony. And when I fight with blade or bow, he told me that my music stands out louder than anyone else's and contains too many parts to be easily defined. When you least suspect it, the Archon of Secrets can be downright charming. What's your real name? Oh, fear. That question isn't worthy of either of us, but I'll entertain it out of pity. You already know me by my real name. It's Verse. Are you looking for whatever arbitrary collection of letters and sounds my mother thought was appropriate when she didn't even know me? Then you're out of luck. I buried that name a long time ago? Editors, you missed one. Long by my standards, anyway. Tell me about your weapon skills. When I was just a kid, it didn't take me long to realize I was a natural. I could pick up a rusty kitchen knife and skewer a rat from across the room. The Scarlet Chorus gave me opportunities to further educate myself. My sisters were always a bit surprised by how quickly I took to different fighting styles. She frowns for a moment, then shakes off whatever she wanted to say. Tell me about the Scarlet Furies.
The elite fighters of the Scarlet Chorus. Your typical Horde recruit fights with a rusty spoon and a chip on his shoulder, but the Scarlet Furies are, well, different. We focus our madness. We coordinate, we kill, we dance. It's like art. Imagine a sculpture that twisted in weird, beautiful angles, and then gutted you too fast for you to realize what was happening.
Do you even hear yourself when you talk?
Oh, fuck you then.
Fear,
I'm
more
not here
fear.
to dazzle you with my use of metaphor. When it comes to the Scarlet Chorus, you either get it or you don't.
Back to my questions about the Scarlet Chorus.
What do you need to know?
Before, you hesitated when you brought up your fighting styles. Why? Ooh, insufficient reputation. As if that's any of your business. If I wanted to say something, you would have heard it. Don't assume I'm holding back. I was concerned, nothing more. More fear. She really is afraid of me for, like, caring. And here I've heard so much about the Fatebinder of Tunon's tactical genius, but no one mentioned your bleeding heart. Verse rolls her eyes. Your concern is cute, if insulting and totally unnecessary. It's a good thing I'm feeling talkative, or I'd stake you to the bottom of a latrine. I mentioned before that I'm good at picking up different weapons and fighting techniques. The truth is, I'm better than good. I could flay a man so cleanly that I'd leave a single strip of skin behind. He wouldn't even need to be tied down. That was one of the first things I discovered about myself after joining the Scarlet Chorus. The voices of Nerat recognized it in me as well, which is why he singled me out for Scarlet Fury training. Go on. My sisters were the masters of their fighting forms, but since they died, my style has changed, almost like I can kill as they did. I could pick up a bow, a lance, anything really. I could tear someone to pieces with a weapon that I only watched my sisters use. I don't know what it could mean, and that worries me. Let me ask you about something else.
What do you need to know?
What are your thoughts on the disfavored? A warren of self-entitled children so wound up in delusions of honor, they're likely to hang themselves by their own high standards. I wish they had stayed in the Northern Empire, where they belonged. And then we could get some real work done in the tiers. What do you think of their leader, Graven Ash? I've seen enough of that high-minded braggart to know that he's all duty, nothing but a charismatic, broad-shouldered scarecrow. He calls himself the Archon of War, though by the way he stalls his forces waiting for a better strategy to present itself, you would think he's afraid of battle. You would think that someone more deserving would take Ash's mantle from him, but the disfavored have this cult of personality built around their great general. In their eyes, he can do no wrong. Who would you see take Ash's place? I would rather let the disfavored sort it out amongst themselves. Graven Ash is this aging figurehead of what should be a constantly changing role. The right soldier needs to grow a pair and then kill the old man. Kick his cane out from under him. Remind the Legion what strength looks like. And the voices of Nerat changes. He's a multifaceted gem, and the Scarlet Chorus is a reflection of that beauty. If someone could rise up and strike down the voices, any of us would follow them in a heartbeat. I suppose you have a better idea of how to handle the disfavored forces. Of course I do. First, I'd stop babying the troops. Pain is a lesson best learned early. I conscript from the locals to bolster the front lines. Because why waste your elite on the vanguard? Then I'd leave any misplaced ethics back in the Northern Empire. They're not helping Kairos' campaign anyway, so fuck them. I don't like either of these options, but... You take away everything that makes them strong. More fear. It's a damn fine alternative from where I'm standing. If all that strength couldn't end a siege, what good is it to anyone? What would be so wrong? The chorus is accountable for itself in ways that the disfavored aren't. Our weak die, and the strong fight to keep their rank. The disfavored promote their waning bloodline, and discipline any soldier with the audacity to show their teeth. Though they never admit it, the disfavored need the chorus to show them the way. What about Ash's connection to his troops? Graven Ash protects. His soldiers keep harping on those words like they mean something. I don't deny that the disfavored can take a few extra lumps on the battlefield, but that only speaks to their thick-headedness. If anything, it's only true because his soldiers place that much trust in it. I've seen the power of suggestion do stranger things to people. Could that be possible? We're talking about a man who's centuries old and wears glowing armor. You tell me. Do you think the disfavored have a chance to succeed in the tiers? Speaking as one of the exceptions, most of the tiersmen are pushovers. Oh, she was born here. These are her lands that we're conquering. It's interesting. I wonder if we'll see her home. The people of Stalwart seem capable enough, though I have my doubts. We might call them the disfavored's best challenge. Even if they succeeded, it might be too late to redeem themselves. The chorus have already impacted the conquest more than the disfavored have, or likely ever will. What are your thoughts on their battle strategies? They really got something with that phalanx maneuver, a formation built on holding still, moving forward slowly, and hoping that no one slips in the mud. At best, the disfavored are tired of using the same tactic over and over again. At worst, the enemy knows what to expect out of them. Scarlet Furies are dancers. We hear the music of battle and organize ourselves into works of killing art. Every fight is as hot and passionate as the last, with no room for stale routine. Ooh. I'm not going to ask. I'm going to wait till I have a higher reputation before I ask that question. Tell me something about yourself.
Yeah, if you insist. I'm a Scarlet Fury. That should raise some flags for you. It means that I'm good at killing, and more importantly, that I enjoy it.
I probably should have started with this question.
What I won't enjoy are the pleasures of funerary rites packed with weeping mourners. Someday I'll fall in battle, and then they'll roll me into a mass grave or heap me atop a shit-stained wagon. One more anonymous, knife-riddled piece of meat. Until then, I plan to take whatever I can from life and have a little fun along the way.
Seems like a good philosophy. Oh. What is the significance of your feathers? Oh, I don't tell that story to just anyone. You have to butter me up before I get into the really intimate details. Yeah. Tell me about your life before the chorus. Life? What life? As far as I'm concerned, I didn't exist before the chorus. There was some girl in a farm wearing my face and talking with my voice, but she wasn't me. Sometimes she would sneak out at night, take a scythe, and have some fun with the livestock. Our shared interests began and ended there. When the Scarlet Chorus swept through my village on their long trek from the bastard city, that was when I finally woke up. I buried my old life, took red vengeance on anyone who'd wronged me, and found the freedom I could only dream was out there. What of your parents? My mother ran a successful farm, and I worked it for a number of years before I found the chorus. She was a hard, bitter woman, acted like the world owed her something. She never talked about my father, though I figured out a thing or two about him later on. He was a merchant from the Northern Empire who took a liking to her, and she him. He stayed around only long enough to get what he wanted. But never mind him. My mother never had what you would call taste, so he couldn't have been terribly influential to me if he did stick around. Interesting. So in this part of the world, only women are allowed to own property, so it would have been her mother's farm, which kind of makes sense. Like, men are allowed to own ships, but only men are allowed to own ships. Only women are allowed to own land. Because, yeah, if it's like the women who are going to give birth to the children, then the child's more going to be connected to the land of the mother than the father. So, like, it kind of makes sense that, like, her father just coming through and then taking off, like, is barely an inconvenience, because it's like, it's just her land anyways. But it's a different dynamic. I hadn't considered that. Do I want to say that? How did you get conscripted? I think you have the wrong idea about me. The chorus didn't take me as a sobbing maid. I strode into their camp and enlisted. Someone tossed me a dented blade. I lived through initiation, spent a week butchering my neighbors, and moved on with my new skin. I didn't waste time with goodbyes. My mother had long since died, and the rest of my family were louses. The girl I used to be, even she knew that she was worth more than all of them combined. Interesting. I'm not going to ask this question then. Enough questions about your past. That suits me just fine. I'm not much for comparing family histories if I can avoid it. What always happens to me in this game, I have a feeling what's going to happen. It's going to be the same thing that happened in Dragon Age 2, which is that everyone's going to be lukewarm on me, because I hate when your reputation is just one single scale of, like, I either really like you or I really hate you. Because in Dragon Age 2, if they really like you or if they really hate you, they will back you up at the end. It means that, like, they have enough of a emotional connection to you that they will back you up at the end. But if they're lukewarm, if they're in the middle, then they will betray you. Which is frustrating, because I feel like most relationships aren't just one or the other. Like, it's just you completely like everything about this person or you completely hate everything about this person. It's usually a mix. And yet most of these games kind of just simplify it to that. Like, either they will completely like you and you'll get some bonus, or they'll completely hate you and you'll get some bonus, or it'll be in the middle and there'll be no bonus. There's no middle ground. It's annoying. But I have a feeling that's what's going to happen with this game, because I hate when it's really obvious. Like, if you just say this thing, you know this character's going to like you. I never pick that option. I never, like, intentionally try to make them like me. That suits me just fine. I'm not much for comparing family histories if I can avoid it. I have a feeling I don't have enough reputation for this question. Definitely don't have enough for that one. I have thoughts about your combat abilities.
Do you now? Call me intrigued. You already know that I memorized the moves of my Scarlet Fury sisters. If it seems like a total mystery to me, I don't know how you could have arrived at any conclusions, but I'm open to ideas.
I think you're just a damn good fighter.
Shucks. You know just what to tell a girl, don't you? I'll thank you to spare me the empty compliments.
Forget I said anything. I was hoping I had more to say than that. You learned a thing or two about fighting in the Scarlet Chorus. Care to duel? I really hope this doesn't permanently affect my...
That would be an understatement, and I thought you'd never ask. Since you're obviously at a huge disadvantage, I'll let you pick our weapon of choice.
What? Those are my only two options? Oh, that's what she's going to use. Or is that... What if I just straight up die here? That would be awful. Let's try dual wielding knives. But my whole guy is... He's a shield fighter. That should be an option.
Exotic. Good choice. I'll leave you to guess which one is my dominant hand.
Oh. Oh, interesting. Okay, so I'm not actually fighting. Verse slashes and parries with unrestrained ferocity. At times it becomes difficult to follow her movements. If you're taking more than a few cuts, you learn to relax your eyes and better follow the subtle motion of her dance.
You held your own. Call me impressed.
Oh, nice.
Need anything else, or did I tire you out?
Okay, so it's just training. It's not an actual duel. I want to ask about our travels.
What did you have in mind?
What do you think of our present circumstances? Well, there's an edict hanging over our heads. As far as I'm concerned, the incompetence of the disfavored got us into this mess, and it will take the fury of the Scarlet Chorus to get us out of it. In other words, nothing ever changes. Farewell. Okay, she really does not...
You got it.
I'm not sure. She's afraid of me, apparently. I don't know if that means she doesn't like me, or she likes me, but she's also scared of me. Oh, cool. Okay, this is good. Let's talk to Sevius. What do you mean you haven't heard from Commander Ironcore? It's been a full span since we sent word to him. Last we heard, Master Radix said to keep an eye on the northern eastern pass, that he'd be coming through there. For the mercy of Kairos, we don't have the soldiers to send hunting through the trees for our own damn Earthshakers. Sounds like a side quest. Fatebinder Rhombus, am I right? I'm Sevius, commander and third generation disfavored. Specifically, I'm Sevius the Younger. Some folks can't keep track. The rank says commander, but lately, I'm just organizing patrols and trying to stay out of the way. You should talk to Iron Marshal if you've something official that needs discussing. What is it you need? I overheard you asking that Earthshaker where their reinforcements have gone. Is there a problem? I'm afraid so. Radix, the head of the Earthshakers, was supposed to arrive with a group of his most competent spellslingers to help break this stalemate. I don't know what's holding up their arrival, and that worries me. If you were at all inclined to lend a hand, we could use some arcane support on our side. I could lend a hand. Northern Clearing is now unlocked on the world map. Could you? I knew that Tunon's agent wouldn't fail us in the time of need. I'll mark the last known site of our Earthshaker Reinforcements on your map. Good hunting, Fatebinder. Why do you think the siege has delayed for so long? Insufficient reputation. Well, shit, don't look at me. It's not like we had a standing army ready to tackle these idiots. The Legion is spread thin across the tiers. Maybe I should butter him up first. Tell me about yourself. Oh, sorry, Binder. Even I know there's no law that can force me into small talk. If you want to make friends, bug someone else. Gosh, everyone sucks around here. The two armies haven't worked together well in years. Why do you think that is? Come on, Binder. Seems like asking why beasts stink. The disfavored are only too eager to deliver Kairos' peace to the tiers, while the Scarlet Chorus bring only mayhem in their wake. You can tell me the voices of Narat has a plan, and I'll take your word for it, but the Chorus sure seems to blunder around, never moving with purpose as we do. I wonder if we've been fighting the same war, soldier. I've seen Ash yank his precious soldiers away from more battles than he's won. If you want to call that progress, be my guest. Unless we find a way to work as one, I fear that the Scarlet Chorus will step in front of Graven Ash's strategies at every turn. As far as I'm concerned, it seems like the voices of Narat is here to amuse himself, while the rest of us are here to do our job. Farewell. Okay, got a side quest. This thing is like pulsing, like it's just like, you're wasting time. You're all gonna die. Is time... That's a good question, actually. Is time moving? Say anything about that in the tutorial? Is there a time tutorial? Time tutorial? How does time work? Rest. Fully restore party members' health. Clear wounds. Okay, does not tell me anything. Alright, well, hopefully it's not counting like by the hour. Oh, I've unspent talent points. Oh, nice. Level up. Level 2. Slam your shield against a target, dazing them for moderate duration. Already have that one. Can I do this one? Oh, guard. I definitely want this. Do I have any other points? No. Taunt is probably good. Be good to help keep my allies alive. These are both good. I think I'm going to do this one first because I want to keep my allies. Defensive benefits from shields. Yeah. Oh, there's a leadership tree. I need level 3. Can she level up? I think so. No, she can't. Rhombus has leveled up. These are my skills. Oh yeah, I'm gonna take off these helmets. I hate these helmets. They look so ugly. Okay. Can create spells. Maybe I should read the tutorial on. Oh, I already have this. Okay. Interesting. So I need to get more sigils? Or can I change the accent? No, I can't. Well, let's take a look at my reputation. Scarlet Chorus. Okay, so there's like different types of reputation. This is much better than the just one sliding scale. So I have favor with them, like 1 level favor, but I've almost have their wrath. They really didn't like when I ordered them to fight Cairn. Oh, interesting. And so when their leader's reputation changes, the whole organization changes. Annoyed by my words and actions. Not surprised there. It's favored, not very favorable to me. But they're not wrathful either. Nothing with Avenging Guard. Oh, Lethian's Crossing. I thought they would have hated me. People at Lethian's Crossing were pleased by your words and actions. I thought they would have absolutely hated me after I left the mess behind. Wow, so what does fear mean? Fury's Rage. Okay, so we get different abilities unlocked. Appalled by your orderly, honorable ways. Not impressed by your display of weakness. Disappointed by your orderly, honorable ways. Yeah, 4 times. To your feisty, chaotic inclinations. Is fear a good thing? We have a new combo ability, Fury's Rage. Intense flames towards Verse, which she catches on her blades and spins into an aura of wreathing flames around her. Nearby foes take burn damage from the flames while they last. That's cool. So I guess it's good that she's afraid. Anything else? Earthshaker Reinforcements. Radix, leader of the Earthshakers, has been summoned from the Stone Sea to reinforce the Earthshakers already in the valley. However, there's been no sign of them since the valley was sealed. You agree to investigate the last known location of these reinforcements to learn their fate. This hour 9 is concerning me. I hope it's not taking up time now. Battle of Echo Call. Echo Call crossing must be taken before Kyros's forces can press their attack on the Vendrian's Well Citadel. Help the disfavored, subdue the rebels, and take control of the crossing. And then this is the one if I want to help the Scarlet Chorus. You'll need to help them deal with rebel forces in the area before Kyros's armies may safely march upon the Citadel. I'm gonna have to choose which one to help. Maybe I can get more info from them before I decide. Iron Marshal Erenos. Don't just coddle the impact. Push back with your shield. Take the momentum. Iron Marshal Erenos, field commander of the disfavored, pounds her fist in the air as she calls out to the warriors on the training field. I said eyes on your opponent's waistline. If you spend more than a glance checking his footwork, you've lost. The disfavored officer turns to you, adjusting her pale golden surcoat. Judging from her uniform, this is the Iron Marshal Erenos, first among equals in the Iron Guard. Graven Ash's inner circle of trusted followers, charged with being the duties of leadership, logistics, and training. There's rarely a quiet day for the second in command of the disfavored legion. Need to stay on top of the troops or their skills will rust. It's for their own good, even if they don't believe it. How are your warriors reacting to the edict? Kairos' ultimatum has the camp on edge, some with dread, but most are rife with anticipation. She points to the men sparring in the field. We have a lot of brothers and sisters to avenge, and the warriors are eager to take out some aggression. I, for one, choose to see the edict as a blessing, for it forces the generals to act, and we're long overdue. It was mentioned you're short on warriors and need help. What's the situation? I have brigades amassing along Placid, Echo Call, and Little Tooth crossings. The Vendrian Guard may be able to hold on one bridge, but they cannot hold against a concocted three-pronged attack. I have no right to give you orders, but... Her words falter, a short cough breaking her flow. But we all die to Kairos' edict, should we fail. So I'm not about to let my pride blind me to the value of good help. The disfavored need my help? Trying to pour salt on my pride? We left Fort Resolution with 100 on 100, and there have been no reinforcements to or reserves. I keep throwing warriors back into battle before they're properly rested, so yes, I need to rely on all our allies, especially since most of our allies are conscripted tiersmen, worse than useless. If the disfavored didn't take every opportunity to insult the Scarlet Chorus, perhaps you'd find our help more forthcoming. Shut your snout, filthy mongrel. I won't suffer childish japes in my camp. She has a point. Oh. She has a point. The disfavored constantly mock the Scarlet Chorus. They're not happy about that. The disfavored have history, pedigree, proper training. All the things the southern conscripts lack. We didn't train for decades to be peers and equals of these traitor tearsmen. We've lived lives of dedication to Kairos, and the chorus accepts any fickle coward too fearful to die by their own convictions. What you're seeing here is disfavored bigotry at its finest. I'm somehow at fault because my country wasn't conquered before I was born. Good point. Forget that I chose Kairos. Forget that I chose the Scarlet Chorus. Forget that I chose to fight off rapists and killers to earn my place in the army, just for the disfavored to call me a worthless turncoat to my face. No one gave me a suit of armor that I could hide behind. No one issued me a sword and a measure of authority. I took everything that I have, and I fight every day to keep it. Fucking northern swine. My frustration was aimed at those in the chorus who accept Kairos lightly. The disfavored commander withdraws half a pace, like loyalty were shifting breeze. This is the second major attack on the river, correct? What happened last time? Defeat in detail. We carved a bloody path up to the river, but at that point, everyone who charged ahead was lost. We had no chorus backup. It was just a few disfavored squads. I can't tell you exactly how they were defeated, but we lost the whole assault team. She shakes her head, letting out a long, pained sigh. We found bodies washing up in the river for days. It's not often the tearsmen put up such a good fight. It certainly made us reevaluate the number we'll need to take this valley. Really? Are you sure our scouts didn't give you all sorts of details about the enemy and you just choose to disregard our warnings? We can pass out blame after the war. Only oathbreakers matter now. Quite right. Getting our emotions into the mix won't hasten this campaign. What's the value of taking the crossing? We can't just march from here to the citadel with the Vendrian guard manning the riverbanks. Forwarding troops and supplies through even the narrowest points of the river makes us vulnerable to attack, especially since our armor wasn't built for swimming. She points north, toward the mountain spire looming in the horizon. If we can take the river, we have a clear march to the citadel, and Ascension Hall will be ours in no time. I hope I can come back. I just want to hear what the other quest is first. So you would just as soon watch the edict come to fruition. Any idea what happens when Kairos' Day of Swords arrives? We'll be stricken by plague and rot slowly, or maybe our blood will catch fire and we'll have a cheery little dance to honor our failure to the Overlord. She shakes her head with a snort. I cannot compel you to follow orders. Maybe when you've come to your senses, you'll realize you've better things to do than sit idle until the edict kills us all. I just wanted to say I haven't decided yet. Gosh. This is Beric of the Stone Shields. The Iron Marshal motions to a disfavored soldier by her side. Or at least what you assume is a soldier underneath the colossal suit of makeshift armor he's wearing. Whether or not you intend to help us, I want to put a body between Tunon's agent and any Vendrian arrows. Oh, come on. The Binder has no taste for battle? Beric's voice rumbles with laughter. And it would seem no taste for duty. If you want to prove me wrong, muster to our banner outside the crossing. Damn it, I just wanted to, think it over. I ask that Beric accompany you there to arbitrate the cooperation between his company and the Scarlet Chorus. Beric, you've been without a cohort since the last Battle of Stalwart. It's time we gave you a task more worthy than hulling wagons and leading training drills. She plants her hands on her hips and speaks in clipped official terms. Ash has assigned you to the Fatebinder's service. You're to assume this task is ongoing until we find a more permanent spot for you, which could very well mean the swiftly approaching end of this war, or when the Fatebinder dismisses you. Is that understood? Beric regards the Iron Marshal in oppressive silence. That's an order, Beric. She shakes her head and sighs, returning her focus to you. He can be as stubborn as pulling a spire out to the earth, but he's a good soldier. I hope you don't mind the company. I am honored to have a member of the Iron Legion at my side. Excellent. I look forward to your success in the field. Cool. I got a new dude. Wonder why. I wonder if I can, first of all, I wonder if I can take his helmet off and see what he actually looks like. Oh, it's locked. Fused iron helmet is sealed to Barrack and cannot be unequipped. What? Sealed. Well, it seems to be pretty good. So he has 9 pierce. No, it doesn't say slashing. Am I to assume that the 0 means it's actually less than 6? So he's vulnerable to crushing damage. Interesting. Well, let's talk to this guy. What's his deal? Oh, did he level up? It sounds like a level up thing. Oh, yes he did. And so do I. Oh no, why do I have a thing next to my... It says level up. Oh, can I upgrade this stuff? Attributes 1. Oh, yes I can. I see. Resolve, vitality, finesse, wits, quickness, might. Health is very good. I like having health. I don't really need accuracy. Don't really need strength. Spell cooldown might be cool. Down. Don't really need magic defense. I'm gonna go vitality. And do I have anything else that I can spend here? I think it would tell me if I... I think it would tell me if I could level this stuff up. Cool, and now I gotta level this guy up. She level up? No. Okay, I'm just gonna make him like full damage. Full on might. Yeah. Barrack Dondarrion? Stringing iron, so he already has that ability. Okay, well, if I'm gonna be the tank, then I should maybe make him more damage dealing. Increases one-handed and two-handed melee weapon damage. Gain a chance to attack enemies as they engage you. Requires 1 talent. Okay, Barrack becomes intimidating force on the battlefield. Enemies have their resolve. I'm just gonna do damage. I'm gonna go straight up damage. Oh, I see. So like I have all these options, but they're limited to suit their character. I kind of like that. I don't like when you can just make any character be anything. It just takes away from their uniqueness. Sense of duty leaves much to be desired. What? Oh, because I didn't agree to help them. I will. I just want to talk to the other people first. Let's talk to this guy.
Fatebinder, you look like you need to talk.
Barrack nods to you.
What can I do for you?
I'd like to know more about you. I'm the line your enemies cannot cross. All of the details are meaningless, but I suspect you have some thirst for details, so ask away. Tell me about your name. Barrack is a shortening of my northern surname, which has been passed down through the generations since Graven Ash assembled his army. I go by it because I wear it with pride. The proper form is Barraconin. Beyond its age and association with the General's Legion, the name Barraconin has no great titles or associations. I hold no claim to a great house or legacy, save for the disfavored. They are all the kin I need. I really want to know about the armor. What's the story with your armor?
It is a symbol of Kairos' will, one that I am not likely to forget. I found this armor. Perhaps it would be better to say that it found me during the Edict of Storms.
What happened during the Edict of Storms? When we heard that Kairos would proclaim the edict, we rushed into the field of battle to battle the forces of Stalwart. I was shoulder to shoulder with some of the Legion's most decorated veterans, and my pride blinded me to the danger. Our march was a hasty one. A cohort of the disfavored soldiers vanished in the second year of the war, among them the daughter of Graven Ash. After a long silence, we learned that she was held in the fortress of Sentinel Stand. Go on. As we surrounded the citadel, I heard the opening peals of thunder, as did the scout I was busy trying to kill. Then the winds hit like an avalanche. Many of us begged Kairos for deliverance. What else were we to do? The winds knocked the legs of our offensive out from under us. All the decorated soldiers I brought to the battle were swept up and dashed to pieces, their armor and bodies mixing with the dirt of a tornado that spun in maddening revolutions. A piece of the citadel wall broke off and nearly crushed my skull. I only remember a few scattered moments from the storm, like the flying bits of bronze and iron cutting my flesh, the severed limbs of fallen soldiers tumbling through the air. Eventually I woke up, thinking myself trapped under the rubble. When I rose and felt like I was buckling under my own weight, that's when I realized I was stuck, right and truly stuck, inside this heap of scrap. But how does he go to the bathroom, I wonder? What happened to Ash's daughter after the edict hit? She was trapped behind the walls of Sentinel Stand, imprisoned by Kairos' storm as well as the fortress itself. 1,000 soldiers standing shoulder to shoulder could not have endured those winds to rescue her. You're genuinely stuck in there. Haven't tried taking it off. I made attempts in the past. Even had one of the beast haulers pull on the helmet while another pulled on my boots. The men in the phalanx have taken great pleasure in trying to find ways to liberate me. How does he go to the bathroom? Looks like pretty solid protection. That would be an understatement. If it only protected me from foolish questions, Barrack regards you in such a way that you can't tell if he's rolling his eyes. A forlorn sigh escapes his helmet. How did you survive when everyone fell? That is a mystery to me as well. Did Kairos hear my plea for mercy? Did this heap of scrap metal protect me, imprison me, punish me? He rubs the back of his helmet with his gauntleted hand. A pantomime of a gesture his armor prohibits. Do you handle your own repairs? I try to keep the surface oiled to slow the spreading rust, and I bend the plates from time to time, but repairs, maintenance, no. Back to my questions about you. By all means, Fatebinder. Did you... actually, as with all disfavored, I assume you grew up in the Northern Empire? That's right. I grew up in Battle's Rest, then trained at Fort Resolution before they marched me out to support the second cohort. I hope to spend my rusting years in Freton shores, unless of course I die in glorious battle, which would be preferable. Grew up in Battle's Rest, trained at Fort Resolution. Freton shores, doesn't tell me anything about it. My mother is good with the soil, my father with the rings. He spends much of his time away on one merchant's errand or another. Still, I'm lucky to say they're both alive. Did you seek the trade of war, or did it find you? Both, I suppose. I knew fighting was in my blood, and the disfavored offered me a chance to use my skills to bring peace. Otherwise, I'd have wound up some brigand or an enforcer to crooked merchant. Beric taps his scabbard, looking away in thought. You think Ash and his legion bring peace? That's cute, but it doesn't hold water from where I'm standing, big guy. I've seen them spill as much blood as any chorus gang. You've clearly been too busy sacking villages and stealing crops to notice how a proper army conducts a war. We sow order, not discord. You two are worse than Ash and the Voices. Stop this at once. Oh, interesting. Drawing himself up, Beric glares at you with distaste. Speaking ill of the great general is not wise while I am in earshot, Fatebinder. Hey, the boss has a point. Trading jabs is fun, but it's not going to get us anywhere. Verse chuckles and shakes her head. May I continue my story, or do you plan on interrupting again? Beric waits until Verse makes a rude, dismissive wave before continuing. The disfavored needed recruits in anticipation of the march south. They offered to care for my mother and brother as long as I stayed with the Legion, which is a better guarantee than you'll find anywhere else. I was an elite fighter as far as most were concerned, though still green by disfavored standards. Luckily for everyone, my skills improved under the Iron Marshal's rigorous training. I really want to know how he goes to the bathroom. What can you tell me of the Tears? Uphill both ways and full of dumb sods. I learned some history in training, as I've been here for a few years, but I'm no expert. What is your assessment of the local forces? There was a time early in the war when I would have feared the younger realms working together. Imagine that, he chuckles. Once I saw the modest scope of their defensive, I knew they would be easily outclassed. They couldn't even rally their best to make a competent stand. Tell me about the Vendrian Guard. Vendrian Guard is an army of the landlocked realm of Apex Defenders of the central region of the Tears. Named for House Vendrian, the ruling dynasty of Apex, the Guard has a reputation for being resilient and stubborn as the mountains themselves. Ostensibly beaten by Kyrus' armies and forced to surrender in 429, the Vendrian Guard resurfaced in 431, brazenly defying the Overlord's rule. They used to be the Queen's Royal Army of Vendrian. I guess defeat inclined them to a shorter name. We crushed them back in 429. I'm proud to say I took part in the decisive battle. You know the rest. A year after we thought them conquered, thousands of Vendrian Oathbreakers murdered the garrison and declared themselves free of the Overlord's rule. The Unbroken Legion was the proud and accomplished army of the realm of Stalwart. Citing their victories as evidence of skill, they prided themselves on never facing defeat while fighting on home soil. After the Edict of Storms tore apart Stalwart and twisted it into the Blade Grave, barely a 20th of the Unbroken's former strength survived to continue the war against Kyrus' forces. I wonder, was the Edict of Storms the one... Anyways, the Unbroken Union of Stalwart. May they rot in discrepitude of their fallen realm. Wondering if that's the place that I ended up destroying. Beric squeezes his gauntlet into a hard fist. Much as it pains me to admit it, in all the realms of the Tears, the Unbroken have been the only foe worthy to meet the disfavored in battle. The Unbroken value tradition, just as we do. The Unbroken Legion was a proud and accomplished army. Did I already read this? Yeah. Just as we do. Stalwart has never lost a war on their soil, a reputation they take quite seriously. It is fortunate that Stalwart has poor relations with all its neighbors. The rest of the Tears will not come to their aid, so as bravely as they fight, their end is inevitable. Bronze Brotherhood. The Bronze Brotherhood is a mercenary company from the free cities dotting the Tears' southern coast. Many of these mercenary companies were employed by Kairos' agents and slaughtered during the war. The Bronze Brotherhood survived thanks to their relatively safe posting at Lethian's Crossing, where the Voices of Nerat hired the company to help protect the town's forge operation. Among the most trained and dedicated warriors of the tiers, the Bronze Brotherhood have a reputation for ruthlessness and tenacity. Aggression and decisive thinking are so highly prized by the Brotherhood that the violent, enigmatic Scourge is the group's mascot, a creature most decent folk consider the stuff of nightmares. The term brother is used for mercenaries of both genders, as the company's title harkens back to the archaic notion of living as men. In Tyr's custom, this amounts to releasing all claims to lands, to better assure an employer that the Brotherhood won't covet the realms they're paid to protect. I need to do like warm-ups before I play this game. There's so much reading. How now, brown cow? She sells seashells by the seashore. What can you tell me of the Bronze Brotherhood? Mercenaries from the Free Cities. The Chorus needed extra muscle, and you can always mint new rings. Hard to believe the Tiersmen turned on each other for mere loops of metal. The Bronze Brotherhood worshipped the Scourges. Yes, those monsters from the old walls. The mercenaries are grown adults that willingly admire a magical abomination. Read into that what you will. That said, it should surprise no one that the Bronze Brotherhood eventually wanted more than just rings and turned on their contract. Kairos now considers them an enemy, which is for the best. The Overlord needs a better class of combatants. Back to my previous questions.
Go on, Fatebinder.
What do you know of the Younger Realms? What do I know? The realms of Azure, Apex, Stalwart, and Haven are collectively known as the Younger Realms, and together they represent the major political factions of the Tiers. For centuries, the Younger Realms have battled amongst themselves for control of the Tiers, with every realm having been at war with each other at some point in memorable history. This lack of a unified resistance allowed Kairos' armies to swiftly conquer the Tiers. Whoops, wrong question.
Go on, Fatebinder.
Before we marched on the Bastard Tier, I recall Graven Ash giving us a speech as we stood assembled at Fort Resolution. He told us that the Younger Realms lacked the sense to make a stand against us. I don't think I need to point out that the average Tiersman is just plainly inferior to the sons and daughters of the North. For every one of ours they kill, we must drag 1.5 scores bleeding into the soil with us. It didn't help that they're afraid of magic, and relied on their battlefield prowess to stage a defense. What do you know of the Beastmen? They drilled us on Beastmen combat before the invasion, but it did little to prepare us. The local savages are lacking in brains, hygiene, and the ability to arm themselves, yet the prime hunters of their species are formidable. Aside from being rapacious killers, the Beastmen make good haulers and laborers, once you've killed the half that won't follow orders. Enough about the Tiers. Tell me about the Disfavored. We are the Iron Legion, the warrior elite of Kairos' fighting force. I could easily lose count of the hours extolling our glories. What is it you'd like to know? What can you tell me of your time in the Legion? I joined the Legion 3 years before the conquest of the Tiers began. Though handy with few weapons, my size made me the perfect addition to a phalanx. I've served with the Stone Shields ever since. Proud to say I've stood front row, right corner in a dozen battles. That has been my place ever since the Iron Marshal gave me the assignment. The Bastard City, the Gates of Judgment, Vendrian Pass, Ocon's Ring, a quick tour in Barris in Chains, and then Stalwart. I spent a long time in Stalwart, lost a lot of friends there. I feel like this is the same question, but have you fought in any notable battles? I served in Stalwart for the better part of a year, faced the enemy everywhere from Coral Run to Sentinel Stand. I lost count of the battles. Seems like we fought every other day. A sigh echoes in the cavern of his helm. Some of our best victories took place there, fighting an enemy worthy of our iron. But we were not successful enough to please the Overlord, and the final intervention was harsh on us all. Barrett takes in a deep breath, his arms folding as his posture stiffens. I had an unusual view of the Edict of Storms. Kairos' judgment left its mark on me, yet considering how he fought at Stalwart, with the skill and honor of legend, only the Edict is remembered. A shame. Tell me about Graven Ash. Graven Ash is the general of the disfavored, veteran of centuries of battle, and an Archon without peer. I would follow him to the void and back without question. Beric swings his arm in salute. As an Archon, what magic does he wield? Ash works his magic through us, his soldiers. When we do battle, Ash seems to know the events even before our runners have given word. Most importantly, though, he protects us. It's a bit tricky to explain unless you've experienced it. I can think of countless times I've been struck by a spear, or hit with an axe, and even run through with an arrow, and in each of those moments, the pain and injury just cease to be. None of us know how he does it, or how he can sense that we're in danger and intervene from afar, but I suppose that's why he's an Archon. What he does probably wouldn't make sense to someone like me. How did he come to serve Kairos? Before the uniting of the Northern Empire, Graven Ash served as a warlord in the service of one of the local kings that defied Kairos' rule. Incredible as it may seem, Ash stood against Kairos' rule. Though his army was dismantled by Kairos' overwhelming numbers, Ash's forces performed admirably. It was said that he and his troops claimed 77 lives for each of their own. Beric. Kairos took an interest in the military genius that bloodied his army. Graven Ash was summoned to a conclave of Archons, and though he was sent in chains, he left as an Archon, having been granted a position of power in Kairos' great host of war. So I'm assuming that mortals can become Archons? Archons? Thus, the disfavored were born. All of us today trace our line back to those warriors that impressed Kairos with their will and tenacity. The only difference is now we fight on the winning side. Though the general seldom speaks of it, I know that Ash humbled himself in order to spare his troops the brunt of Kairos' punishment. His loyalty to the old blood of the North is beyond question. He made the right choice to save his troops. And he would make it again to save any of us. There's never been a more devoted and attentive leader. Beric makes a proud fist and steps to a salute with the forceful clatter of pots and pans. What else do you know of his past? I follow him into battle. I am not his personal scribe, and if I did know more of him, it would not be my place to say. Beric takes a half step back, folding his arms across his chest. How do you feel about Graven Ash? How do I feel about him? Archon Ash is the bravest, warmest, most compassionate general who ever lived. He's a living icon of leadership and courage. Beric tilts his head slightly to the side, as far as the suit's limited range of motion permits. Ash is a soldier, but he doesn't kill for sport. A leader, but he doesn't issue commands to hear himself talk. He demands discipline and sober conduct of his troops, and I applaud such standards. What of the other disfavored lieutenants? They are Graven Ash's most trusted officers and warriors from the Iron Guard. Between Ash's arcane powers of command and his cadre of gifted leaders, there's little confusion or chaos in the ranks. Tell of the one they call Iron Marshal, who's literally just standing right there. She takes it upon herself to train and harden our greener recruits. Not only that, she has a keen eye for talent and how to foster it for leadership. She's the youngest member of the Iron Guard. Her family line served the disfavored back before Ash bowed to Kairos. Say what you will of how many seasons she's weathered. Her lineage is impressive beyond measure. What of Cairn's disciple, Radix? An Earthshaker who swore service to Cairn a few years before the conquest. Since Cairn is gone, the cult now follows Radix. Unlike his Archon, at least he knows how to follow orders. To his credit, Radix now seems to appreciate the honor of fighting alongside the disfavored. Cairn was always peeved to be invited in the glory. The mages seem a necessary complication. They are insubordinate and can't lug their own supplies, but I would not want to go to war without their spells of tremor and leaping stones. What of the scoutmaster, Merrick? Merrick is a devoted leader, and Ash seems to hold his council in high regard. Both set their troops ahead of themselves, which I'm sure is why they work so well together. He's no magician, but he does share a special connection to his warband, and they are entrusted with the most important scouting assignments. They say he can see what his scouts see, hear what they hear. And what of the veteran warrior, Veramus? He is the finest of us, second only to Ash. Veramus is an evocatus, a soldier who lived to see the end of his term of service. It's rare for anyone to survive that long, much less willingly return. These days he lends his tactical expertise to Graven Ash, though by all rights he should be enjoying his twilight years in a seat of honor and dignity. Oh, I feel like I'm not allowed to ask that question yet, but we'll see. So what more can you tell me of the Legion? The disfavored accept only the finest warriors. We are all volunteers and soldiers by trade, not farmers and fishmongers pressed into service. There is a century of tradition, honor, and tactical mastery in our ranks. We don't let just anyone in the Legion. Only Northmen of character and prowess are welcome. What if a capable Tearsman wished to join? We would not recruit even a champion of the Tearsmen. Each soldier in the Legion is tied by blood and fealty to those that stood with Graven Ash during the coming of Kairos. That is part of who we are, and that will never change. So why is the Legion called the Disfavored? It is a name born in shame, now worn in honor. After Graven Ash stood against Kairos, he was forced to give up much, his allegiance, his pride, and the name of his vaunted army. What was the Legion originally called? The name has been forgotten by all save Ash and Kairos, and it is considered bad form to bring up the topic. Since you didn't know any better, I'll say this much. Disfavored is the only name by which one needs to know us. I wonder if that means I'll be able to turn Ash against Kairos. Might be. This is good intel. I have some questions about the Scarlet Chorus. Our allies do not share the disfavored sense of honor and discipline. The Chorus will trust any criminal, rapist, or halfwit with a truncheon or a blade. What would you like to know about the Scarlet Chorus? What do you know of the voices of Nerat? The Archon of Secrets? All I know are rumors, hearsay, speculation, but that's as much as anyone knows of the voices. Some accounts tell that he's actually dead, and the Overlord has trapped the minds of his foes in the same body to torture them all. As likely an explanation as any I've heard. In truth, I know little of the voices, and have reason to suspect almost anything about him could be true. You could tell me his tears turned cheese back into milk, and it would seem more sensible to believe you than not. Do you know anything of his powers? I am no scholar of sorcery, but as I understand it, the voices of Nerat is a thief of minds. They say he can swipe your thoughts and make them his own. Do you think him disloyal? I really shouldn't comment on such matters. Beric looks ahead blankly, then clears his throat. Yeah, I expected much. I heard his tears can turn cheese into milk. That's very amusing, Fatebinder. The game should have, like, a funny stat. You shouldn't just automatically be able to pick the funny option. What do you know of his associate, the Archon Siren? Siren? Siren is the Archon of Song, and one of the youngest of her rank. She can influence human emotion with her voice alone. The voices may be the conductor of the chorus, but I'd argue Siren is their best weapon. The voices put her talent to good use. He had us singing a song up and down the coast, and the tearsmen defected to the chorus in droves. Oh, hey, Leo, how's it going? Take your downtime. I've been doing nothing but talking to NPCs for the past hour and a half, and I'm loving it. What can you tell me of their troops and tactics? Tactics? These are the first I've heard of them. The chorus is more of an irregular mob than a proper army. Still, it's a well-armed mob, and they even have a few proper warriors and magicians in their pitiful excuse for ranks. What do you know of the warriors? I love it. I love the story. It's only just started. I've literally done one quest, but I absolutely love it. I've played, I think this is by the same creators as Pillars of Eternity. At least it plays exactly the same as Pillars of Eternity, but the story of that game, I got much farther, and the story just never really, I never fell in love with the story, whereas like this one, I'm already addicted to it. I literally backstory for days, and then like even the most insignificant NPCs will have tons of dialogue, and they will have like a reputation meter. And I also was saying how I really like how the reputation meter in this game is it's not just one scale. It seems that there's at least two emotions, and so instead of like you're either they like you or they hate you, they can kind of both love and hate you at the same time because they're two separate scales, which I really like. So far, I think I've pissed off pretty much everyone in the game. What do you know of their warriors? Most chorus rats are untrained peasants, handed a knife or a pitchfork. It doesn't take much to qualify you for the front lines. One only needs a beating heart, and even then the chorus could make do. Of course, not everyone in the chorus is an infirm child or sickly old crone. Some ex-soldiers and madmen join, and the fighting elite of the chorus form a clique known as the Scarlet Furies. Barrick is too dismissive by far. He's right that most recruits are novices pressed into service. Most will not survive the first few battles. Those who live will have experience to lead, and those who fall can easily be replaced. What sort of magic does the chorus use? Oh, it is the same. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I so far I like this way better. The Blood Chanters are the mages who follow the voices of Nerat. Like the chorus itself, their order is not steeped in tradition and antiquity, rather built on knowledge stolen from other guilds. Their fire magic earns them a place on the battlefield, but they also have chants that stir the mind and the heart. The motherless sods have spells that can bolster a man's courage or tap into his fears. If the chorus is a mob, how is it led and supplied? The voices of Nerat gives orders to his elite commanders, who in turn send instructions out to the gang captains. But beneath that hierarchy, it's chaos. Whole gangs will break from the larger force and disperse back into their homelands. The chorus is inefficient beyond words, and yet more bodies keep coming in to replace those lost in the mess. Inefficient? Every weakling lost in the shuffle is one less burden to those in the choir still dancing to the song of battle. Our ways must be harsh. Otherwise the stupid and the soft will inherit the chant. The chorus has a lot of mouths to feed, so the conscripts that can't or won't fight are made to gather food and water. Else, I'm told, they're fed to the pigs, becoming food and water in a sense. Barrick shrugs. A fine contrast to the honor, efficiency, and decency of the disfavored. The Legion demands courage and tenacity, but provides us with good iron, and does not leave its soldiers to forage like vultures. How do you think the Scarlet Chorus convinced so many tearsmen to join? This was their experiment to... Yeah. I remember when, like, I think they kickstarted Pillars. I remember when the Kickstarter came out. Yeah, for sure. I will probably restart Pillars again someday. It wasn't a bad game. I just didn't fall in love with it the way I did, like, Dragon Age. But yeah, I played it on permadeath mode on Path of Iron. And I got, like, super far. Like, I think I was near the end of the game. But it was a stupid side quest that ended up killing me. I just completely... I got lazy because the game was starting to get easy. And so I started getting, like, very lazy and not really paying attention to what was going on in the battle. And then just instantly got wiped out. It's a lot like D&D in that, like, the tide of battle, once you start losing fast. Because, like, as soon as party members go down, your party strength is just completely just a fraction. It began with Siren. She had a song that got whole villages marching to her will, and once these peasants killed their neighbors or cousins in service of the voices, it either hardened them into warriors or broke their mind for servitude. Lots of criminals and drifters joined the chorus too. It seems like the scum of the tiers just need the promise of glory and sanctioned debauchery to turn on their neighbors. It's not pretty, and it shouldn't be. The chorus is a forge. All the dirt of the tiers goes in, and the finest bits are refined into weapons. There are many that join the Scarlet Chorus because they wish to join the winning side. It's a shame that such patriots were not born to proper northern stock. Too weak or too slight to be disfavored. The Scarlet Chorus is their best freedom from fealty to the younger realms. Not everyone has the fortune of gaining Tunan's favor. The disfavored turn away all people of the tiers? That seems selective to the point of foolishness. No, he did not like that. I would not expect a Fatebinder of Tunon to grasp notions of pedigree and standards. The disfavored are a family, not some military orphanage or home of second chances. So I think the reason it's called fear, rather than, like, dislike, distaste, is because I'm technically their commander, and, like, I think they recognize that I have the power to, like, just kill them on a whim. And so the more they realize that I do not share their opinions, like, the more afraid of me they'll be. Which is okay. I can live with that.
Good. Let's move on to another matter.
Would you like to discuss removing your armor? He looks at you for a very long time, his expression as unreadable as ever.
Though we are encouraged to couple and mate within the Legion, I won't consider you one of my cohorts. I think I'll decline.
Dialogue is so good in this game. Wait, you're saying the answer would be different if I was his favorite? No, I'm not gonna say that. I wasn't talking about sex, Barrick.
You weren't? Forgive me. It's been some time since anyone made an advance, and I am long out of practice, as you can see.
He knocks his iron codpiece with a resounding clang.
Suffice it to say, my armor and I will not be separated for the time being. When the war is over, perhaps Tunon will lend me one of his forge-bound. Until then, here I remain.
Alright, I mean, I guess armor must have had, like, a latch, like a pee hole or something. Because, like, yeah, they couldn't have taken it off every time they had to go to bat.
My armor saved me from the destruction of Stalwart, where thousands of others lost their lives. So you can see why I continue to wear it. For the time being, we will not be separated.
Are you comfortable in there? I have somehow developed enough calluses that I can sleep at night, but I wouldn't call that comfort, would you? This is my armor. It has everything it needs and more. Purpose, meaning, strength. If it were comfortable, that would only take away from its other qualities. Do you even want it removed? I would not speak of this now, Fatebinder. Please, consider the topic closed. As your commander, I am concerned about the state of your uniform. Damn it. You are right to be concerned. My apologies that you needed to pull rank. It was wrong of me to withhold information. I don't need to tell you that this suit of junk is a literal pain in my ass, half broken, smelling of a midden, and perpetually jabbing my side with some Kairos-be-damned caltrop. These dusty plates may not be up to standard, but they serve the disfavored well enough on the battlefield, if only to intimidate the enemy. Better for me to endure this condition than to shirk an advantage. Considering that I wore this as I marched across the bones of stalwart that was, my burden growing heavier with each step, I have no desire to leave it behind. It's a lesson, a reminder, and yes, a prison. But all of those things make it something more. These plates have something of me in them. They are as wicked as a bramble patch, as stubborn as a fortress, and hopelessly flawed. At present, removing my armor is not an option. If that ever changes, I suspect that the tiers will tremble with the impact of my collapsing fortification. What a day that will be. What does Graven Ash think of your predicament? I suspect that he doesn't. Not to besmirch the great general. He has larger matters to consider than any one soldier's woes. His shrug sends a puff of debris clattering to the ground. How long do you think it can last? The armor hasn't shown any sign of weakening, and my maintenance regimen is all that keeps it from rusting solid. Were I to stop applying oil and give it to entropy, the shell would harden to a degree that no forge master has ever seen. I think it could very well stand for as long as the old walls, with my skeleton peering out from the depths, and someday not even that. Now isn't that a cheery thought? Tell me about what you can and can't do. I can strike fear into the hearts of our enemies and protect a shield wall with my very body. What more do I need? This is where we get to the good questions, the important questions. How do you vacate your bowels? Let us say I manage, and manage poorly. The parts of this misbegotten thing I can reach are in better repair than the ones I can't. I don't want to think about that. How do you take pleasure from life? We're actually talking about this Fatebinder. You have nothing better to do than wonder how I access my nether regions for a frenzied bout of self-interest? I don't want to hear this. How do I even run far enough to avoid it? Verse plugs her ears and winces against the inevitable. Well, I can't, and not from lack of trying. My works are inaccessible from the outside, and much as I've tried to worm my arm out of this sleeve of iron, I would only succeed in dislocating my shoulder. If you ever think me frustrated or disagreeable, just imagine what I've dealt with since the 3rd year of the conquest, or more accurately, what I haven't dealt with. How do you fare in water? Better to ask, how do I sink? The answer is quickly. Water passes my lips easily enough, though I take great care to keep it from anywhere else. I love just taking a super badass character and just ruining it. You seem like a more than capable fighter. I trained with the spear and shield in my youth, but gave it up the day I earned disfavored iron. I can still throw with some accuracy, but it's a challenge these days. He knocks twice on his helmet. Why? Were you interested in a sparring session? I heard rumor that Ash has an unbeatable sword-fighting technique. You flatter the Legion's reputation, but the Archon does make sure we are competent swordsmen. Observe. Ooh, 5 one-handed weapon skills. Beric takes up a sword and offers several practice jabs, testing its weight and balance. Before you know what to expect, the gleaming iron whips through the air fast enough for a sharp breeze to disturb the air. Beric does this several more times, never showing any sign of exhaustion. What do you think of our circumstances? The edict left little room for confusion. representative of the Overlord must breach Ascension Hall before Kairos' Day of Swords, and must assume death is the price of failure. We should assist the disfavored in the siege preparations, as only the Legion should take the Wells-fortified citadel. I wouldn't wager a wooden ring on the Scarlet Chorus, impressing anyone but the vultures. What are your thoughts on me and my deeds? Any reservations I have aside, your military record speaks for itself. You are Tunon's Fatebinder, and my opinions on the matter don't come into it one way or the other. What do you think of our travel companions? I am more accustomed to traveling in the company of soldiers, so I am out of practice judging the worth of civilians and miscreants. If you had anyone in particular in mind, I will give them some thought. What do you think of Verse? I try not to. She is a force of chaos, an agent of the voices of Nerat. Taking her into our confidence can only lead to ruin. And yet she is a capable fighter. For the time being, I am confident that you can trust her to serve your interests, and rely on her skills on the battlefield. She may even offer some useful perspective on the war. Oh wait, was there anything else?
You look as if you have something on your mind. By all means. What can I do for you?
Okay, no, I guess... Let's discuss some immediate concerns. No. There's nothing more.
I'd have it no other way.
Where do I set their formation? Here we go. So yeah, these two up front probably. I want the enemies to attack me first, so I'll be at the very front.
I got it.
The Earthbreakers already had their chance. No use in wasting cell space on traders of Kairos. Our supplies are still holding up despite us sitting around on our asses for the past few weeks. Isotanus. Isotanus curses the air as a blade of thin iron breaks in half beneath his hammer. Repairing weapons with a scrap isn't exactly why I got into this craft, but our supplies are spent. He wipes the sweat from his brow and gets a better look at you. Why not forge bronze? Bronze will do in a pinch, don't get me wrong. It can take a beating and get bent back into shape, unlike this stubborn iron we have here. He glances at a pile of his work with dread. And we always have plenty of tin and copper lying around, so supplies aren't the problem. I wonder if this is a pre-steel... No, I think they mentioned steel. Did they mention steel? Maybe this is a pre-steel civilization. It's a rare smith who can churn out military-grade bronze consistently. More often than not, it comes out soft. Look around camp. We're garbing the Legion head to toe in iron, because it's cheaper and easier to produce for the masses. Couldn't do that with bronze. He looks Barrack up and down. Of course, some of us do go overboard from time to time. They call the disfavored the Iron Legion for a reason. Strategy and skill may be our backbone, but our claws are made of iron, the good stuff that comes from the Smiths and Lethians crossing. You mentioned an iron shortage. I'm afraid so. The last shipment sent down to the Mitanni went missing near Echo Call Crossing, and I'm afraid we won't be seeing any more now that the valley is sealed. It's forge-bound. Forge-bound are mage-smiths sworn to Kairos' service. Though their operations in the tiers are overseen by Tunon and his court of Fatebinders, each forge-bound uses magic as a tool to augment their personal craft, most commonly smelting and metalworking, but carpenters, tailors, and tanners are found in the ranks. And each mage strives to create that which is impossible with mundane hands. Most notably, the forge-bound are the sole masters of ironworking in the known world. Using spells of fire resistance to wade into the forge fires, the forge-bound can work iron at temperatures no other forge can match, and with hands-on touch, with a hands-on touch that no mundane smith could hope to achieve. Because of this vital skill, the forge-bound are considered a strategic war asset, their lives regimented and controlled so that the forges may churn out iron arms and armor without debate, delay, or distraction. Forge-bound iron is Tunon's responsibility. Why is this the first I'm hearing of it? Keep your voice down. Isotanus flinches and lowers his own. Graven Ash doesn't want to cause a panic or pass any information to the Vendrian Guard. Best case scenario, the iron tumbled off a boat and is rusting on a riverbed. Worst case, it ends up in enemy hands. I've been instructed to aid an operation in Echo Call. I'll keep an eye out for your shipment. I appreciate that, as does the Great General. More than you might guess. Maybe he isn't quick to offer his thanks to outsiders, but I know he'll be grateful for your help. It would be a boon to the war effort if our iron was recovered. You can trust me to handle this. Actually, yeah, I'll just say that. I knew that Tunon wouldn't have dispatched you without good reason. The court isn't exactly known for gambling when the stakes are high. He glances to a crate beside him and points to a small set of notches on the wood. You see that? That's how we tell apart our iron shipments from the rest. Inconspicuous so people don't go snooping around. You want to keep your eye out for these. Good hunting. I might have to remember this. Small set of notches. Okay, I'm sure it'll tell me if I see them. Need something else? You look like a competent fighter. Why aren't you swinging that hammer into the enemy's face? Would that Ash and the Legion gave me the opportunity. During our training at Fort Resolution, I demonstrated some skill with a craftsman's hammer. Now whenever there's arms or armor to be mended and no forge bound in attendance, they look to me. He huffs and wipes a line of sweat from his brow, which is often. I'd like to see your wares. Ooh, this is where the good stuff is, but I have no money. I'm completely flat broke, and of course, they can't just give me stuff, even though I'm here to help them win the war. No. I guess I'm technically not in their company. Oh, interesting. Ooh, this should be her item. Okay. I need to actually do some gaming at some point today. So the Marshberry, I think, is more... Can I not put it in the inventory? And then maybe... Enraged. Might, I think, would be more his ability. Yeah, so I'm going to give him this. I'm going to give her this. I'm going to give him the rest of the potions too. We all have potions equipped. Good. Okay. I gotta remember to drink these before battles. Might as well give him some fish. What does he need? Finesse, no. Vitality would be good. Might is good. I'm gonna give him meat. And I'm gonna give him water. So I think I can still accept this. I think I can still accept this quest, even though I said no. I just want everybody to like me, even though they're all evil. Word travels fast, Fatebinder. What's that supposed to mean? Gosh. Ominous. Oh, can I access this item here? Our supplies are still holding up despite us sitting around on our asses for the past few weeks. I'm not gonna get like attacked for taking this, right? I should maybe see if there's anything in the tutorial, because I only have one life. If I die, it's all over. And I really don't want to lose this game. Yeah, is there anything about stealing? Also, I have the tutorial turned off, technically. It didn't say it would turn off the tutorial, it just said it would turn off hints. But I guess that includes the tutorial, so here we are. Both stealth and for finding hidden objects like traps and secret containers. While scouting, your character's selection circles will start to fill with yellow when a hostile character is starting to detect them. Once the circle fills yellow, the character is suspicious and will move to investigate while the circle fills red. If the circle becomes fully red, your character will be discovered. Several talents will get your character bonuses. Okay. Scouting mode. Okay, I should remember to do that. Okay, hopefully if this is technically stealing. Okay, hold down tab key. Well, I already figured that out. Already figured that out. Okay. Okay, it's instant for consumables. Alright, I'm just gonna take it. Nobody's attacking me, that's good. These spears are uniform in their quality craftsmanship. Oops. What's this shield? Leather buckler. Is it better? It's better dodge. Is this the same as what he has? It's the exact same thing. I feel like he should use the two-handed weapons. Do I have any two-handed? I think I sold mine. Yeah, I don't have a two-handed weapon, unfortunately. Now I wonder, are there any bonuses in what's it called? Pillars of Eternity, you would get a bonus if you just use one weapon instead of using two. I guess the only bonus is that you just, there's less recovery time. Can you use both? Slash and pierce. Just pierce. Whatever, I'll keep him with the shield for now, but I think I want to use large weapons. Eventually, hopefully the game will not be like super hard as soon as I leave my camp. A meager portion of game simmers in a large copper pot. Fragrant spices attempt to... Oh yeah, I already read that stuff. Already read it. Let's go talk to the Rona. Got no time for chitter. Too much armor to mend. Speak to Uncle Pentabor. A few things to trade. Oh yeah, I already talked to her. Oh, is this... Now, is this going to be stealing? This seems an awful lot like stealing, but hopefully nobody cares. Stone shield boots. So these are better. These are better in every way. Better deflection, better recovery. And I get disengagement defense. The disengagement defense, though, I think is... might be better for her. Oh, she has +2 disengagement defense. Oh, these are +3. Okay, so they are better. Yeah. Yeah, these are better for her. I want her to be able to move around. This table is lined with various medicinal herbs. It would appear that they have been carefully rationed. Carefully skinned game hang from this branch. They appear sickly and malnourished. Okay, I think I already talked to everyone over here.
That wasn't so hard.
Oh, wait, did I lockpick it? Hope nobody minds. I didn't even know I had lockpick skills. 30 subterfuge. Who has 30 subterfuge? I don't think it's me. I have 26. She has 38. Okay, so it must technically be her who's picking it. I see.
It's all in the reflexes.
Lesser Sigil of Strength and Bloodstone. Do I have enough lore for scrolls, personally? Where's my lore? My lore is 36. Oh, I definitely do. So maybe... I wish I had more space. Oh, wait a second. It's an accent. Does that mean I can use it to create a new spell? I don't know. Maybe the tutorial will tell me. Describe sigils and empower them with energy. Open the spell interface by pressing P to create a new spell. The sigil you learned back. Do I have to use the scroll? Remember, your party has a high enough lore skill. You can learn the sigil and use it to craft spells. If you meet the lore requirement for the scroll, right click on the scroll icon and then click the learn button. Oh, okay, so yeah, scrolls are just sigils. Use it to craft spells, so I might as well. What's this one? The range, okay. But I don't think I have enough lore for this one. I do. I might as well learn as much as I can right now, because I might not survive long enough to get a better party member. Although, yeah, I'm not sure, like, am I learning the sigil? Do I choose which character learns it, or does just we all learn it? Let's see now. Now I can add these accents. So, Sigil of Strength, what does that do? Okay, so it just raises the vitality and might. Whereas if I do range, it increases from 2 meters to 4 meters. Now I wonder, is this a limited thing, or can I do this as many times as possible? Spell creation. Spells are created using 2 or more sigils. The core sigil determines the type of magic, such as fire, frost, or illusion. The expression sigil determines how that core shapes itself into the world, such as a ball of fire or a frost enchanting a weapon. There are several categories of sigils that can accent a spell, granting it greater range accuracy, providing bonus secondary effects. To begin creating a spell, select the core sigil for the type of magic, followed by the expression sigil to determine what form the spell takes. For example, if you wanted to create a fireball spell, you would select the sigil of flame as the core, followed by the sigil of directed force to determine its shape. Spells have default names based on the selected core and expression. You can rename your spells using the spell interface. Each sigil requires a certain amount of lore to skill to learn and control. Characters must have a lore skill at least equal to the spell's total difficulty in order to cast the spell. Once you have created a spell, use the assign button to add that spell to one of your active party members. You can assign a spell to more than one character. If you want to modify the spell later after you've discovered more sigils, select the spell from the party member you wish to modify. The interface will populate the spell's information, allowing you to modify it and save your changes. You can customize your spells by selecting different icons. If you create multiple spells with the same core expression but with different accents, these icons can help you differentiate your spells. Each spell has a default name, but you can customize your spell's name. Some accent sigils allow you to modify the area of effect or range of your spells. When you use these sigils, the casting UI will display the increased range as a second, more transparent area beyond the base area of the spell. Okay, let's see then. So I guess that means that no, it's not going to cost me anything. Let's do intensity. Update, nice. Okay, so I just made my spell more powerful. Very cool. Very cool. Alright, I'm ready to fight some stuff. All this lore is going to be for nothing if I die in the first battle, so I might as well go fight something.
Right.
What is the skull here? Oh crap. Yeah, I still only have 8 days, so... Oh, and I was supposed to talk to, I guess, Bitterquip. Back again. Bitterquip looks you up and down, his face unamused. Have you so little to do besides standing around the disfavored camp? What is it like working with the disfavored? He scoffs, looking away from you for a moment before sniffing and returning his attention to you. Reporting to the Iron Hag is an insult. She fought one duel for her title. One. Her leadership must be continuously proven, earned, and defended. Weakness should bleed to the bottom of the army, not rise to the top. My assignment here is also an insult, but one I will bear for the good of the chorus. Bitterquip sniffs the air, smiling with one side of his mouth. If only to see with my own eyes the failure of the disfavored. That will be a fine day. Who am I supposed to talk to from the Scarlet Chorus? Fifth Eye at the Scarlet Chorus camp. In Trip Nettle. Okay, so I guess I have to leave this and go to their camp. So you might as well accept. Mission. Oh crap, is there a button in? The edict draws near. Preparations are almost complete, but we aren't moving fast enough. Hey! She looks past you, yelling at a soldier far afield. I said round up those javelins, not a suggestion. I guess I can't accept that mission. Damn it! Damn it, damn it, damn it. What is your role in the disfavored? I am the commander of the Iron Guard, swordmaster of the disfavored, and captain of the 3rd Boreal Company. Her voice booms loudly as her titles roll off her tongue. Commander of the Iron Guard. Doesn't that make you second command next to Ash? That I am, she folds her arms, but I view it a very, very distant second, and I've no plans to outlive the immortal Graven Ash. So while by tradition I am executor, or I suppose executrix of the Legion, I hope never to act on that sacred duty. Make no mistake, Graven Ash is the mind of the disfavored, but I am his right hand, a student to his military genius. Where have you seen battle? Let's see, Gates of Judgment, Bastard City, quick jaunt through parts of Haven, then on to Stalwart. She looks at you with a shrug. And finally here, Vendrian's Well. Quite a tour it's been. Back to my previous questions. What can you tell me about Ascension Hall? Kairos' edict is directing us to take Ascension Hall. That's what the locals call the inner sanctum of the citadel built at the base of the mountain spire. She points east toward the narrow, vertical line of stone that rises above all other points in the horizon. It's also the base camp for the Vendrian Guard, so taking Ascension Hall has always been one of our objectives in putting down this insurrection. But now we have a life or death reason to make that citadel our one and only focus. Who's the strongest warrior in your cohort? Modesty demands I omit myself, but if I had to form the Legion into one giant phalanx, I'd have Sevius the Younger and Beric take the corners. Sevius has been at this since before I was born, and Beric, well, she hesitates. Well, what? I'm neither deaf nor fragile. Say what you were going to say. I was going to say that you're perhaps one of the best warriors in the outfit, but good luck getting you to wear your regulation uniform. You're a good soldier, Beric, but you know you're a pain in my ass. I am honored to be assigned one of your finest. The honor is mine. When this campaign is over, I hope you'll accompany me in hanging more Vendrian savages along the road. Think of the stories we'll have to trade. Is there a way to select all? Or select all button? I guess I can shift.
On it.
Is there a map? Okay, maybe there's something around here I can do. Is there a bigger map though? Oh, there's a pause button here. World map. So that's Scarlet Camp. Okay, that's where the one mission is. Tells me the time it takes to get there. So I can't rest too many times, so I have to be very careful. I already spoke to this guy. Yeah, I think that's all there is. Thank you for taking down the disfavored from doing worse. Sad times we live in when making a humble living is branded a crime. You're lucky I ran across you. Farewell. Well, I'm in your debt. Swing by soon. I just need to get my wares in order and I'll be ready for business. Okay, let's get out of here. Let's skedoodle. So 2 hours, 1 hour to get here. Let's go here first. More dialogue. Take you 1 hour and 15 minutes. Let's do it. I wonder how long that timer has been ticking. It's 9:17. 9:47. Oh, we're ambushed. Your path is blocked by a small group of Vendrian Guard. Go no farther until you deal with them. Oh, fuck. This could be it. This could be where I die. Oh, fuck.
That's far enough, Fatebinder.
A woman's voice booms from atop a nearby outcropping. Flashes of aquamarine body paint peek out from under her loose-fitting traveler's garb, and her outfit is festooned in braids and knots of a sailor's line. Flanked on either side by warriors dressed in Vendrian Guard regalia, the woman leans over an elaborate bladed staff pulsing with arcane energy. A swath of blue fabric rests draped over her arm. The blue body pigment, bladed staff, and complex braided attire are the traditional trappings of the School of Tides, according to Fatebinder Rogulus. Hey, see, Rhombus isn't that unusual name for this world. According to Rogulus, the majority of the school fled before the coming of Kairos. The remainder were last seen during the first campaign in Vendrian's Well. The School of Tides traditionally studies the magic of water and grave light, the art of directing the moon's arcane light into baleful, searing energy. The blue flag is a symbol of diplomacy and truce recognized across most of the known world, and it is custom the Tearsmen hold dear. To harm another person under the auspices of a blue flag is a grave offense. In both the Tiers and in Kairos' empire, the customary punishment is death. I wonder, because this is lore, I wonder if my lore skill actually contributes to how much of this I'm reading.
In accordance with ancient customs north and south, I offer and request a delay of blade. There are matters we must discuss without fear of reprisal.
The woman bows deeply, lowering her head in a practiced display of etiquette. The warriors by her remain in a ready stance, their nerves clearly on edge. In accordance with ancient customs north and south, I abide this truth. This is probably a trap. But it said that they hold the customs dear, so...
As is our custom, we are ready to kill to defend our lands, but we kill only in fair battle. We don't slay our prisoners. We know this isn't Kairos' way, but we must have hope.
I have to remember that they're the good guys, so hopefully I can count on that working to my advantage.
A few of my kin have gone missing, and though they may have perished, I have to inquire on the off chance they still live. If Captain Tarkus Deimos still lives, we would negotiate for his release.
Damn, yeah, I was the one who killed him. I'm gonna tell her the truth. Tarkus Deimos is dead.
I see. That is as I feared, but thank you for telling me all the same. I prefer closure to wishful thinking. If I may make one more inquiry, what of Palox Tyrell? Did he survive?
Do I remember this person? Though you rarely have the luxury of matching names to the countless Tiersmen you've encountered, you are reasonably certain she is asking about the Vendrian Guard warrior that took Drastus hostage at Eddring Ruins. He did not survive the encounter. Okay, this is the guy. I thought she was talking about... That's who she was talking about before. Yeah, that took Drastus hostage. Palox Tyrell is dead. She nods slowly, saying nothing for a long moment.
My apologies, Fatebinder. I had a terrible feeling this errand was in vain from the start.
If I hadn't killed them, what would have happened?
I had no expectations that our friends could be saved, as I'm sure the time for swapping prisoners is long gone. But at least I know of what became of them. That'll have to be enough.
Bow deeply. Sorry you did not find what you were seeking.
Then all that remains is for me to thank you for hearing me out. In accordance with our ancient customs north and south, let us part with peaceful accord.
She bows curtly, never letting her eyes leave yours, before turning to leave. A moment later, the bodyguards turn to follow. Is there anything else to do around here? Oh, there's something. Rot Spear and Beast Blood Pollen removes a random hostile effect. Enraged Affliction. Okay. Can I equip it? I should equip some to him. The Rot Spear, I wonder. It might be good. I'll save it for now. Anything else in the area? Oh, there's something.
I got it.
Grasslands of the Tiers stretch far through the land. Much of it remains uninhabited and unclaimed by any faction. You can make out the faintest outline of a soldier's arm in the bottom of this pond, a victim of a previous battle in the area. Oh, there's something here. So much to see, so much to do. Blood moss and plus 20 athletics. Nice. 50% healing. That's very good. I might actually use that instead of the water, probably. What was it called? Vagrant's Chaw. Although that might be better for him. It's hard to decide. Oh. Rhombus has discovered something.
Found something.
Heavy cloth sandals. I'll take that. Anything else? Nope. The adventure continues. Consumable. Okay. Just see if I get into any battles. Probably not here. Okay. I need to take a little break. I'm going to grab some food, but I'll be back. So, in the meantime,
on top of the river, conduct
alright, I'm back. Sorry, it took me a while. See if I can handle
On it.
banana and game at the same time. Take another step. I'll pin your foot to the dirt. What's going on here? Quiet ship. It proves everything. The warrior slams her fist together in a resounding clap. Like, for instance, whether you're fit to lead that flock of children. Behind her, the members of her gang posture with weapons held at the ready. Shivershank. Did you not hear the news of the edict? This is a foolish distraction. We ought to be saving our fight for the enemy. The chorus warrior looks to his gang, giving them a quick nod. What's the problem here? No problem here, Lord Binder. She tosses her blade into the air, catching it with a smile on the way down. Captain Fuckwit here seems he's about to balk from this challenge. Thinks just because he used to run a ship, he's qualified to run a gang. She spits on the ground, looking up with a scowl. So I'm calling him out, because the way I see it, his warriors ought to follow me, not this new blood. Captain Fuckwit was my father. Fuckwit will do just fine. The warrior points at the opposing gang. If we have to prove our strength, we'll do so happily, but I'll have your hands and feet removed and the rest of you kept for my own use. Should I fight? Well, if I get in a fight, I might get a wound, which could be trouble down the line. So, probably not. This is foolish. Stop this at once. Excuse me, she whines her eyes in shock. This is our way, Fatebinder, and you have no right to stop us. We're not harming anyone outside the chorus. I don't know who you are, but I don't need your help. He looks back at his gang. I think we can handle ourselves just fine. Bickering amongst yourselves costs us the war outfit. It's banana. I can't talk with banana. Bickering amongst yourselves costs us the war-out effort as a whole. It does affect others outside the chorus. Ooh. Gain favor with Tunon. Tunon doesn't even know what I'm doing. He just suddenly woke up this morning. He's like, that guy, Rhombus, I like him. The gang leader spins her knife for a moment as if her answer balances on its edge. Fine. With her answer, she flicks her knife to the ground and walks away, a spiteful glare cast in your direction. In your direction. Gosh, this game needed to hire a few extra editors. Namely me. Just pissing off everybody, but that's okay, because they're the bad guys. What did you expect, my thanks? Rotting body. Oh, these are chorus grounds. State your business or get lost. What does it say? Rotting body sparing Scarlet Chorus war paint is skewered upon a wooden spike. Oh, there's some stuff on the outskirts here. See, when I said that I didn't want any tutorials, I expected it, or not tutorials, I said I didn't want any, like, helpful tips. I expected that meant, like, it wouldn't do the whole highlighting stuff in the environment, but, I didn't expect it would just turn off the actual how to play the game. It seems a bit excessive. Horde. The guard places her hands by her belt as you approach, gripping the hilt of the blade. Past this point is chorus territory, and you don't look like someone's conscript. You sure you're in the right place? Glares silently. Guard tenses up, locking eyes with you. That walking hunk of rust, what's he, she, maybe it doing here? Stepping close, push her down. Yeah, I'm gonna just throw my weight around here. 113 athletic skill? That's gotta be a glitch, right? I think I leveled up, or no, maybe it's not levels, it's just experience. Okay. Horde. Before she can draw her blade, you advance, place your foot behind hers, and give her a stiff shove on the shoulder. Caught off balance, she tumbles backward, triggering an outburst of laughter in the other guard. I can't believe you sassed the Fatebinder. You're such a stupid ponce. Didn't I tell you we had a special guest coming? The guard waves you in with a smile. Come on in, and don't let the ninny shitters in camp give you any guff. Can I talk to you? Soldier nods at you.
Will do.
Death knell. You, as much an accusation as a question. The broad-shouldered woman shakes her head with a scowl. So, you're Tunon's Fatebinder. I was expecting something more impressive. She bows in spite of her misgivings. Death knell, Scarlet Fury. My time is yours for as long as it amuses me. The fighter effortlessly spins a bronze sword about in her hand. Let's get one thing clear. Stick to your words and law. Leave the fighting to the grown adults. Your corpse would just be a tripping hazard to those of us having a proper bit of carnage sport. We've got enough useless twats dying for our name as it is. All our Horde recruits seem good for, of late, is piling in a shit-reeking mound on the battlefield. She hums low to herself and flips her sword side to side with several deft flicks of her wrist. Keeps up, and we'll have to toughen our recruitment standards again. Now, what do you need? You said something about the Horde thinning. Swelling until it's thundering, and crashing and receding. It's been the way of the chorus for as long as I've been in it. She offers a one-shouldered shrug. Ambivalent, if anything, but more likely just uncaring. We take our prisoners alive, give them a chance yet to live, to be reborn into something better. Putting any and every able body to the sword, like the disfavored do, is nothing but a waste. A conquered enemy is but a new ally. It merely requires the proper coercion. Of course, we do sometimes have the problem of lingering loyalties. Deserters are rarely successful in their escape, but they do try. The Vendrian Guard, strengthened by the numerous blood ties, have been particularly stubborn, so I've a better plan hatched. And what might that be? I'm thinking we redouble our efforts to recruit settlers, focusing on the unaligned and unsuspecting, instead of flushing ourselves to the gills with oathbreakers claimed from the battlefield. How exactly do you plan to convince them? A knife point has sufficed well enough in the past, but you've inspired me to try a more diplomatic approach this day. What do you say, Binder? You might be able to ease them into the idea, and save the lives of their friends and neighbors in the process. If it means expediting the end to this meandering conflict, so be it. Oh. The Fury howls a satisfied laugh and smacks you dead on the back. My methods are surefire. You'll see. I'll mark the settlement on your map. She grins, biting her bottom lip bloodied. I can't wait to see the outcome of your efforts. What were you expecting? Let's see. Deathnell counts on her fingers, conducting some mental tally. From your deeds during the conquest to how you've helped us since then. I expected a mountain, a warrior of colossal size who could shout a rampart wall into submission. She smiles. But I think you'll do just fine. What can you tell me of the Scarlet Chorus? We are the voices of Narat's glory made manifest. In the chorus, strength rises and the weak feed the soil. Deathnell smiles, standing tall as she extols the army. Our ways terrify the cowardly and shock the naive, but our traditions exist to offer promise and prestige to those fit to claim it. We abandon all petty rules for one simple law: the strongest must lead. What is your role in the Scarlet Chorus? Deathnell frowns, her eyes narrowing. Do you not recognize a Scarlet Fury when you see one? We are the warrior spirit of the chorus, scholars of sword and shiv. She folds her arms, puffing out her chest. In peace, we train those tough enough to endure our lessons, but wise enough to learn from the best. In battle, it is our duty to slay our foes and inspire the horde with our skill and bravery. Deathnell clicks her tongue, looking aside to the others in the camp with an eye roll. We are fearless vanguard of this confused but glorious rabble. How has the military life treated you so far? Oh, it's a wonder of wonders. I eat what I want, shit where I want, and I kill who I want. Sometimes I even combine pleasures. She winks at you. My enthusiasm for the work brought me here. A decorated Scarlet Fury veteran, eh? But I'm looking for advancement. If it means killing one of the gang bosses, I'm not above taking a swing at someone bigger than me. Verse. They can be bigger than you. Just make sure they don't hit harder than you. Wise words, sister. Very well. I'll be back in a moment. Just gonna get some water. What's over here? These arrows are splintered. They're fletching mottled. They were likely pulled from corpses. Talk to you, no? This barrel is full of murky red water. Severed limbs bob under the greasy soup skin. Battle plans are scribbled over a blood-stained map of the tiers. Arrows point toward the inner ring. Doesn't give you enough time to read it. The inner ring of the Vendrian's Valley, and small circles are drawn around the citadel. Most of these provisions are withered with rot. Oh, this is the disfavored guy? Salveros. Hail, Fatebinder of Tunon. The disfavored officer pounds a heavy gauntlet against his chest in a stiff but warm greeting. Were I a betting or superstitious man, I'd say fortune must favor me today. I am not. But I'm pleased to meet you all the same. Now, what brings you to my little slice of personal damnation, otherwise known as... He spreads his thickly gloved hands wide. This here mud and shit stinking chorus camp. Why are you stationed with the chorus? From the way most of my days go, you'd think I was here to row with the Blood Chanters and Scarlet Furies. But my post is to represent the disfavored's interests before Fifth Eye and the Scarlet Choruses, for Iron Marshal Erennius. Now that I've gotten to do either in so much, not that I've gotten to do either in so much as the last span. Have they been cooperative? No one tells me anything. They all lack honor and discipline. Don't think they could cooperate even if it's what they actually wanted. He grunts. Guess I shouldn't be surprised, considering they serve the Archon of Secrets. A keen observation. Favor with the disfavored, yo. I'm glad we see eye to eye, sir. It's nice speaking with someone who doesn't try to frustrate the piss out of you every 4 words. It's like they don't even care. I'm the closest thing to a friend in the disfavored they've got. Have anything you'd like to report, soldier? Maybe you've noticed something unusual during your time here? He cants his head to one side, taken aback. What about the chorus isn't unusual? The army itself is a strange, malnourished beast. But no, the screamers seem mostly in order, sir. And I haven't been spying, if that's what you're implying, sir. Still as a post, he studies you sharply, scarcely appearing to breathe. Course, even if I was, it'd be damned near impossible to learn anything from this shit sty. Fifth Eye and those damn Furies don't even loop me in enough for me to do my detail, and it's not for lack of trying on my part. What do you mean? Lost favor? Oh, lost favor with the Scarlet Chorus. I'm not just here to keep a steady eye on the Oathbreakers, who they give far too much freedom after conscripting. I'm here to be a resource for the benefit of both armies. I can provide insight regarding proper stratagem and request a stock of the troops from Iron Marshal Erennius for reinforcements if needed. But they won't listen to me, nor confide in me, nor fight beside the brethren I could request. You act like it's a punishment to be assigned to this detail. Isn't it? I know I fucked up to get here. Got 3 days in the hole and a nice little promotion to go with my new post. Well, I won't be making the same mistake twice when it comes to the Iron Marshal. He juts his chin toward the distant valley. I should be out there, fighting for Ash's glory, not standing here ready to run back a report should something ever finally fucking happen. What exactly did you do to end up here? Made the grave mistake of suggesting the Iron Marshal wasn't fully utilizing the Scarlet Chorus. Well, here I am, a liaison's officer to a camp of liars and cheats who'd sooner gut me than ask for my aid. Guess she showed me. I'm not going to insult him by asking that question. You got enough subterfuge there? Uh-oh, what happened? Oh, I just discovered something.
Good thing
I thought it was going to be...
wrench handy.
Oh, I knew I shouldn't have bought... Knew I shouldn't have bought those extra tents. Damn. Maybe I can sell one. There's got to be a merchant around here somewhere. The Fifth Eye must authorize all prisoner visits. Okay, I can't talk to anyone. Oh, there's a little pig. Looks like a dog. These spears are brittle and rusted. Oh, there's a dead guy down there. Talk to any of these folks?
Sorry, I can't.
You will. What's this? Tearforged bronze great spear. This could be useful for what's his what? Bronze great spear. Let's try this instead. Continue 21 pierce damage. +2 accuracy. Range of 2 meters. That'd be good for keeping them out of harm's way. I need to store these in a better way. Else I think I'm gonna run out of storage space. Potion of protection. I think that's also very good. Should I get rid of blood moss? I'll get rid of this one. And potion of protection. This is pretty good. I need to sell all this junk. Stench of piss and fecal matter emanate from this tent, one clearly not used for rest. Let's talk to this guy. Baz. Well, look who we have here. Chewing on some manner of cud. A heavy-set soldier flings spittle and crumbs as she talks. The Fatebinder finally shows himself. Reg. The second soldier chimes in. And this is Baz. We were wondering when you might pay the camp a visit. The Fifth Eye has been a little starved for attention. He ordered us to watch her like a troublesome babe. Make sure you don't get out of line. Baz knits her fingers together, joints crackling as she smiles. Reg clears his throat loudly, scowling at Baz. Something like that. If you have questions, ask us. Good luck finding anyone else in camp who will give you the answers, or even a smile. So, anything we can do for you? Tell me about yourself, Baz. I was a sellsword at the beck and call of fat merchants. Just another dented face in the crowd. After too many years of spilling blood in local skirmishes, I realized that I was only killing time. Then Cairo showed me a better way. Unity, purpose. Now I fight for something, not just someone. Been watching the Scarlet Furies, practicing my blade work. Not good enough to join them yet, but I bet I could show you a thing or two. Tell me about yourself, Reg. He scratches at the back of his head, at a loss for words. I had a family and a farm. Then the chorus came, and, well, now I have the chorus. Priorities change when you hear screams in the night and feel a blade pressed to your neck. Things like farms or families don't seem as important. I used to have nightmares about the Cullen. Felt awful, remembering how I hacked my ma and dad to bits just so I could survive. What's this? When the Scarlet Chorus conscripts a village, they hold a ceremony known as the culling. Every able-bodied man, woman, and child is given a weapon and forced to fight their family and friends to the death. Those who survive are deemed strong enough and free from old ties to join the army of the Voices of Nerat. Wow. Fuck. Reg's eyes, shadowed for a moment with sorrow, take on a feverish gleam. The fifth eye heard me howling one night, pulled me out of the horde and took an interest in me. Now I'm studying magic, calling fire from nothing. If my ma and dad could see me now, they'd be so proud. Except you killed them. Tell me about your time in the Scarlet Chorus. Reg and I were conscripted at the Gates of Judgment. He used to fight for Alkan, me for Azure. Baz chuckles, sketching her chin in thought. How many fights we survived so far? 11? Reg begins to count in series across his fingers. No, 14. I count each day in sunder separately. The chorus is, Baz looks about the camp and shrugs. Not as bad as it smells. The strong like me and Reg, we're allowed to take what we want, what we deserve. Live only as well as our strength affords us, as it should be. What can you tell me about the fifth eye? Reg trades an uncomfortable glance with Baz and lowers his voice to a whisper. They say he shares a direct link with the Voices of Nerat. Guard your tongue around him. He's a little... wild, bloodthirsty, mad. Baz thinks for a moment. Brilliant. What do you know about Vendrian's Well? The walls might seem imposing, but the Vendrian Guard do a better job of hiding its weaknesses than fixing them. She shrugs. We took the Citadel once before. We can take it again. We don't have to, don't we? Oh, no, we have to, don't we? Reg looks up at the imposing tower of the spire. Though Kairos knows I don't want to stay any longer than necessary. She follows his gaze and shakes her head. You should know better than to parade your cowardice before the Fatebinder. It's not cowardice, it's just superstition. Are you afraid of the spire? Sorry, Fatebinder. I shouldn't have mentioned anything. He sighs. Fact of the matter is, we were told to stay away from spires and old wells ever since we were babes. Of all the dumb childhood lessons that fell by the wayside, that one stayed the same. Imagine a soldier of the chorus pissing himself over architecture. More like what's underneath it. Reg frowns. The Bane lurk around those old sites and kill anything they can catch unawares. I've no wish to meet the Bane in combat unless there are 100 Blood Chanters at my back. She twists her lip into a frown as she considers this. Me neither, I suppose. Baz, let's see what you can teach me. Let's dance, Binder. Ooh, okay, what do I want to know? I don't really want any of this stuff, but... retrain the maximum number of times. Yeah. I don't think it's worth the money. Maybe bows. Maybe bows in case I ever do want to use a bow. I'm not going to waste all my money. I wasn't done talking to you. Baz spits a wad of chewed bread into her own open palm. These rations are foul. Taste it. Can't tell if it's poison or mold. I heard that our watches spotted a disfavored scout by the grain stores. You don't think? I feel fine. Maybe it's an herb to slow my hand in battle. Sabotage is a coward's weapon. Maybe it's just gone bad. Seeing you, Reg pockets his ration without taking a bite. Fate binder. So, anything we can do for you? Reg, show me what the fifth eye has been teaching you. We'll make this valley burn. Magic staff. Don't really use that. Oh, Subterfuge would be good, but she's fully trained. Might be good for him to learn some. I definitely want to learn some lore. That's all my money. There it goes.
Can't do that.
Small marks have been painted onto this corpse, marking certain body parts as more difficult targets than others. Fifth eye. Fifth eye's who I'm supposed to talk to, but I'll get to them. I want to check out this chest. It's going to take me all the way around, probably. Go away. I have nothing to say to you.
Can't do that.
Fish. Fish heads, fish heads.
No can do.
Oh, no one is high enough level.
Sorry, I can't. Can't do
You
that.
know there's something good in there. You know it. Do they not have a merchant here? Must be one of these guys. These threadbare tents show signs of hard use and long-term exposure to the elements. This guy must be a merchant. Snigler Dagos. Upon noticing your approach, the merchant straightens his posture and smiles. What an honor! The name Snigler Dagos, originally from the relative tranquility of the Northern Empire. I've since accepted a nomadic life for the sake of keeping Kairos' forces supplied with only the finest goods, local and imported. Let me see your wares. He winces a little. Not much, but let me know if you see anything that piques your interest. Well, definitely want to sell my stuff. I have a lot of grain. I'm probably not going to need that much grain. Oh yeah, I gotta sell this stuff. So I'm gonna sell Iron Sword. This is broken. This is all junk. Is there a junk thing? Yeah, this must be the junk. I don't know if I really need those sandals. I probably don't need the shield. This looks kind of good. I might use this as my offhand weapon. I think that's all I want to sell from that. I guess she has better boots now, right? Only Verse can equip this. That kind of makes me think that maybe it's like a special thing. But it's clearly worse in every way. So no, I'm gonna sell it. Can't sell these. I'm not gonna need this sword, I don't think. Unless it's better than my sword. Let me see. What sword do I have equipped? 7 to 10 bronze sword? Oh wait, no, this is way better. Right? Alright, so bronze sword does 7 to 10. 0.75 recovery. This is 8 to 11. Same recovery. Armor penetration 3. Yeah, no, this is way worse. So I'm gonna leave that there. Wow, 33 gold for this. What does it do? It's not even that good. My iron sword is better in almost every way except recovery. Oh, it is. It's thrown. You can throw it. Fire eye stone. Sigil of fire. This must be for upgrades or something. Oh, and I want to sell my tent. Can I not sell tents? Can I not sell tents? Why? No, I can't sell tents. That sucks. Scrolls. Make supplies. No, I don't think I want any of this stuff. At least I have some money now. So I can train some more. Baz and Reg trade conversation in hectic whispers. Do you feel strange? Yeah, Reg rubs his shoulder nervously. Ever since the Fatebinder spoke Kairos' edict, I felt like bugs were crawling under my skin. They notice your approach with mixed expressions. Oh, I didn't see you there, Fatebinder. I love that it keeps updating their conversation. Oh, what? I thought it said that I had more... This guy can level up, but... Oh, I see. Oh, right. Oh, okay, so maybe I should have been more careful, because there's only... It's very limited how many times I can train each level, so I have to level up again before I can train them. Well... Should be more careful next time, I guess. Well, I want to see what this is. Scroll. Scroll sits here, glowing mystical energy. Read scroll. Sigil of illusion. Oh, what's the sigil of... Those who master the sigil of illusion are skilled in the arts of deceit and trickery, using its powers to misdirect and confuse their targets at critical moments. Often derided by combat mages for its inability to kill outright. Those who specialize in illusion know its powers can turn the tide of any battle. It merely requires someone smart enough to know how to use it. Spectral blur. Okay. Ranged. 24-second cooldown. 30% graze deflection for 45 seconds. 30% hit deflection for 45 seconds. Recovery, so I guess 30% of the hits will just not count. The character is attacked and the hit result has been determined. The target's deflection percentage is checked. Deflection can reduce an attack by 1 hit result. Example, a graze can convert to a miss. Deflection is a property of equipable clothing and armor and is also present in talents and abilities. Each modifier to a character's deflection lists the type of hit result it converts, as well as the percentage chance it will do so when the character is struck. The types of deflection are crit to hit deflection, hit to graze, and graze to miss. The finesse attribute increases the amount of deflection granted by equipped armor. Okay. Attack skill determines a character's ability to draw and control spells that use the Sigil of Illusion. Oh, I don't have that. Oh, I guess I do have a bit of that. My lore is very good. Masks the target in a blurred illusion, making them harder to hit. And can I make it more powerful? Okay, so it's up to 37%, which is very good. This would just increase the range to 4. That's good. Okay. I like this. This is great. It's a good defense spell. It's gonna be a tank. Oh, I didn't check
Can't
this.
do that. Can't do that.
Bronze Hammer. Bloodhound Hood. Maybe that's better for her. Better deflection, better recovery, and better accuracy, yeah. Go here, is this better for me? No, it's not. Might as well sell that stuff too. What did I get? I got a new mace. Sell this. And the helmet. Fifth Eye. The binder of Tunon arrives. Squealing with teenager's timbre, the fifth eye's voice makes your gums itch, and your fingernails feel in need of a trim. And we just finished having a bit of sport with some captives. But worry not, we'll have more fun with another batch momentarily. Dressed in the bronze-red regalia of the Crimson Spears, the fifth eye beckons you to stand close, wagging a blood-splattered glove. Now that you have issued the edict and doomed us all to die, have you come to help us climb out of this hole? Chirps of laughter emanate from under his mask. How has the cap responded to the edict? With mewling, bawling, and the occasional orgy, frequent vomitus. Shrill, tittering laughter escapes from under his mask. The lust is there, but so is the fear of failure. Should our glorious horde fail to overrun the citadel, we will surely all perish. I mean, I don't see the disfavored pulling their weight. I trust you are getting your warriors ready for battle. We know the Oathbreakers are focused in the citadel beneath the mountain spire. But we have learned this is not their only nest. The fifth eye wags a hand in the air with a high-pitched squeal of displeasure. Given their pattern of attacks, they must have a second group maintaining camp here in the outer valley. And unless we deal with this second group, they'll attack from behind the moment we cross the river. The disfavored think you can't control your horde, and that many are defecting back to the Vendrian God. Wrong, and perhaps, he gestures with his spear in an arc toward the sprawling camp, it is no mean feat to hurt this many desperate lives. For every 2 hands of humanity, there's at least 1 finger that snaps from the stress of our ways. A few have been lost on the margins, I won't deny that. But if you store grain, expect some rat feces. If you lead killers, expect some desertion. So you need help taking out these Oathbreakers. And while a good old-fashioned slaughter would be an efficient solution, the smarter answer is not to kill them, but to add their strength to ours. My last group of scouts returned with a new batch of prisoners, and one of these prisoners claims she can lead us to the Vendrian Guard's secondary camp, though there are shreds of deception in her voice. I could use your help questioning this Variakel. Perhaps you will get less screams and tears and more useful information out of her. If we knew where to ambush the Outbreakers, we could try and take their captain, and show him the wisdom of joining the chorus. I will speak with the prisoner. I will meet you there. She is waiting by the other prisoners. Choirman, let the Fatebinder speak with our catch of the day. Very well, Fifth Eye. Mariah Kell. Please, someone. I wish to bow before the voices of Nerat. I thought all could find redemption in the chorus. A woman in the makeshift armor of the Vendrian Guard lurches forward in agony. Her soiled, trembling legs suggest she has been forced to stand for days. This one, he flippantly waves at the prisoner, was hollering earlier that she knows the location of the Vendrian Guard encampment. But she isn't being entirely honest. I told this thing, the prisoner turns pale a moment before a look of determination comes over her face, that I wanted a guarantee I'd live and be welcomed into the chorus as a captain. Then I'll talk. Otherwise, they'll just kill me once I've opened up. I was dumb enough to join with the Vendrian Guard, but I'm not dumb enough to give away my bargaining bronze. You claim you would disavow your people for the Scarlet Chorus. Why the change of heart? Because I want to live, and you don't need to be the Archon of Premonitions to know that the younger realms are gone for good. She blinks several times, catching her breath. Kairos is the new strength of the Tears, and I would rather stand with his Archons than be crushed by them. Tell me what you know, and I can see to your release. I heard the chorus is looking for the Captain Pelux Florian and his crew. I can lead you to them, but only if you release me. She turns her head, taking a long look at skewered and smoldering corpses around her. She tugs at her restraints, but to no avail. Start talking now. Well, you see, shaken by your demand, her lips moved wordlessly for several seconds. So I don't know exactly where the rest of my crew is, but I could tell you. She shakes her head, catching her breath. Search that one. She reaches up with her right leg and points with her foot, calling attention to a nearby pile of corpses. The tall, dark one missing most of his face. Check his left boot. He was the literate one in our crew. He had the orders. Fifth Eye. With a snap of his fingers, a pair of choirmen yank the boot off the fallen guardsman. A rolled parchment slides out of the boot and is thrust into Fifth Eye's hands. He unfurls the scroll to give it a read. It's nonsense, just mash of words. Laughter erupts from under the mask. She said she had information. She gives us garbage. Slay this wretch for wasting our time. He snaps his fingers at a nearby Scarlet Fury, who promptly snatches a long knife from her belt. I heard her say she'd swear fealty to the voices of Nerat. An initiation rite would be in order. Gained wrath. Seeing as you are an expert on the subject of fate, I will entertain your wisdom on the matter. What, then, would you propose we do with her? Oh, fuck. These are all bad options, but anything else will probably get me killed, I'm guessing. Send her back as our agent. When the time comes, she will aid us, or we track down her kin. Wrath with the Vendrian Guard. I will need to think of a good explanation for my escape, but I'm certain I can return and avoid a suspicion. Thank you. You will not regret this act of mercy. This will end amusingly for the Vendrian Guard. Would be smart to assume she only escaped by our whims. You there, the Fifth Eye barks at a pair of guardsmen, beckoning them forward. Release our newest recruit. She has orders to infiltrate the Oathbreakers. See that she is escorted to the river's edge. Variah inhales deeply, flexing her fingers as she shakes off the stiffness of being tied to a post for days. I will return to the Vendrian Guard. Act well my part, and await further instructions from the chorus. With a nod, she follows her escorts out of the camp. Is that going to bite me in the ass? Probably, but I'm not going to let them just kill an unarmed prisoner. We're no closer to finding the Oathbreaker's position, not with this cryptic mess. She promised us answers, and all she gave us was gibberish.
Sorry to interrupt, but I highly doubt it's gibberish. More likely, it's one of the local scripts.
It's a good thing I didn't have her beat this guy to death. Although I think it was referring to the other two. Lantry, the voice comes from another prisoner, tiled up next to Variah. An older gentleman with the quills, ink vials, and parchment scrolls one finds on the sages of the School of Ink and Quill. Ink smudges cover his cheeks, temples, and ears. His clothes appear charred. And between the rips of the fabric, you spot burn scars along his arms. Despite being emaciated and tied to a post, he offers a beaming smile. Who are you?
I'm Sage Lantry, one of the hired quills that was coordinating missives between the Vendrian Guard captains. They aren't paying me anymore and aren't coming to my rescue. So I'll decipher that parchment for you. That's what smart prisoners do, right? Make themselves useful.
Sage. One of the longest surviving schools of magic in the Tiers, the School of Ink and Quill is a venerable institution devoted to the acquisition and preservation of knowledge, or so the sages profess. Putting more of their energy toward amassing knowledge than disseminating it, they began their scriptorium in 17 TR, and through a series of incremental expansions, the structure became the Vellum Citadel, only to be known as the Burning Library after Kairos' Edict of Fire brought ruination in 430 TR. That's not the one. I didn't do that, did I? Not all sages know magic, but those that have mastered the guild's traditional spells can employ magic of protection and preservation. It is a poorly kept secret that the sages have gradually acquired a wide array of magic practiced by rival mage guilds over the generations. Running a household or army requires a great deal of logistical know-how, and it helps to be literate and capable of maintaining your own records and ledgers. Most leaders employ assistants, known as hired quills, to log harvests, schedule payments, balance payrolls, and dictate letters to friends and rivals. I can read it, though, can't I? Well, let's see if I can read the parchment yourself. You unroll the parchment and see a message of modest length written with professional, albeit hasty penmanship. The Tiersmen speak the Canto just like the Northerners, but they have a half-dozen different ways of writing it. This particular script is unknown to you. Show him the parchment. Can you read this?
Let me see. I can't.
You hold the parchment in front of the bound sage, and his eyes dart down the length of the missive. He reads the words a second time, nodding in silence.
I don't know exactly what it says, but I'm half certain that's Sage Selwyn's handwriting. I'm sure I could decipher that in a few hours' time. Don't need my hands free, but I think better when not tied to a post. I know, I'm weird that way.
A few hours. Either you can read it or you cannot. What use is a sage that doesn't know his letters? I've heard all I need to hear. I say we have some fun with this one. It can't hurt to give him a few hours. You read the edict. I don't need to tell you the sundial is working against us. This addled old bag is just trying to stall us. The voices of Narat will be upset to know you squandered a source of enemy intelligence. How true. Then we shan't put him to waste. He will serve as a most riveting source of amusement as we put him on trial.
Fatebinder, I beseech you, be my advocate for this trial. I'm no fool. I know the chorus uses blood, not words, to settle these matters. But you are a servant of the Archon of Justice, are you not?
Oh, fuck. If I take him, I'm probably gonna get Wrath with... But if I fight, I might die and lose everything. Oh, fuck. I hope I don't regret this. Fine. But I'll be his champion. This one needs to live.
Good. I like it when Tunon's puppies get their paws dirty.
Okay, at least I did that much.
I wouldn't mind taking a swing at some loudmouth chorus braggarts myself.
Gain favor with the chorus, too. Did you hear that, brothers and sisters? Raising his arms to the sky, the fifth eye roars for all nearby to hear. Trial by combat is upon us. I hope this is not hard. I really hope this is not a hard battle. Lantry the sage is unbound from the post. Stiff legs nearly buckle as he attempts to walk, and his arms flex and flail in their new freedom. Wiping sweat and grime from his brow, the sage steps close to you with a nervous smile. Rhythmic roaring and the stomping of hundreds of feet in unison flood the camp. Hordsmen begin to circle and swirl about, brandishing weapons and cheering. Here we go. 3.5 hours of gameplay, and we're finally going to get into a fight. And it may be the last one we ever get into. If they got this worked up to fight the enemy, I venture the war would be over by now. Begin the chant of gathering. Let the warriors know that tonight's entertainment will soon commence. Oh fuck. Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. Is it just gonna be me, or... Well, it sounded like my party is gonna be with me. Brothers and sisters, who among you sets the standard for strength? Who amongst you will help winnow the weak from the strong? The fifth eye waves his hands in the air, drawing in a gathering of chorus soldiers. Oh fuck. Oh fuck, that's a lot of guys. Our claimants have been assembled. Now let the trial of the Oathbreaker begin. Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. You need to get back here. What can you do? We gotta take this very, very carefully. Horde, horde, horde. Scarlet Furies. So the Scarlet Furies are gonna be the toughest. What can you do? Quill Strike. Is that literally he throws a well-aimed quill at his target? Range 14 meters. Okay. Odd AoE. Plus 5 armor per pierce of armor worn for 60 seconds. 1 armor penetrated by attacks for 60 seconds. Lantry restores the party's weapons and armor to pristine condition. Increases the damage from weapons and protection from armor. I don't think I need that. Quicken. It doesn't work in combat. It's 1 per encounter. It quickly heals the Fatebinder with a surge of restorative energy. The burst of energy is so invigorating the Fatebinder is also hastened for a lasting duration. Oh, it's a combo? Or he's not in combat, I guess. Is he not fighting with us? Restoring touch. Channel healing energy into the target, restoring health instantly. Okay, he's my healer. And Titan's touch. Okay, okay, okay. You need to draw them in. So I'm gonna want to do Barrack and the Fatebinder both bang on their shields and armor, harassing an enemy. The target is compelled to attack Barrack for a short time, while the Fatebinder's mocking gestures leave the enemy confused and off guard. The foe loses all ability to parry and dodge until they recover their senses. Okay. Oh, I guess it thinks that I'm not in combat yet because it just paused. Titan's touch. Okay, I'm gonna want to have defense first. I'm gonna want everyone else to move back. You're gonna want to move way back. Okay, Fire Strike. Combat start.
Combat!
Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, do they still have, they have AI turned on, don't they? You need to turn off your AI. You need to move over here. I need to... One per rest. Where's the taunting one? I got like a taunt ability, didn't I? Oh, here. This one? Oh, the stance. Okay, so I definitely want that. I'm gonna want to attack this guy. You're gonna move back for the time being. And you're gonna move here and attack this person. Okay, a lot of stuff is happening. Barrack hits Horde 14 piercing and disengagement. Nice. Which one though? This one? Okay, it must have been this one. Okay, okay. You are going to... What's this do? Okay, I want to increase my deflection. Character hit verse first, so she got attacked by the bow. Okay, okay. Let's focus fire this one down. What is your battle stance at? Okay, accuracy, it's good. And iron on this one, I think. What can we do anything else? Give might. Do it.
You got it.
Oh, no, 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 no. Shit. Get out of there. Okay, okay. Character attack Rhombus. Okay, Rhombus is being attacked. That's okay. Do you have any abilities in? Okay. If engaged by target enemy. So this does strike a single enemy, dealing significantly increased damage if the target is engaged in Barrack. Okay. Should definitely do this. Shite. She might have to switch her weapons. And just take out this one on her own. Just so the lyric survives. Plus 24% health, so that's not, she's not at 24%. Yeah, so I'll wait. Does he have any long range weapons? No, he doesn't. Oh, wait, did it? Wait, increased quill, ranged attack, yeah. So it works both as ranged and melee, I guess.
Then Ash protects.
Okay, okay, okay. So you're still using the stance? Does he have it equipped? Okay, okay, you're gonna have to do some fun stuff to him.
I'm on it.
Okay, now I think it's time to heal her. Right, is that the right one? Restoring touch.
Oh.
They're doing a whole bunch of spells on me. How much damage have I done to the Horde? This one's barely injured. Rombit critically hits. Okay, that must have been. I critically hit myself with that spell. That's relief. Horde hits verse. What did I hit them at all yet? Barrack raises Horde with 11 piercing damage. So I think that's the only hit they've taken so far. They're doing way more damage. Just verse. Does he have his stance? I don't think it's selected. No. Oh, I should check their armor too. They have crush resistance and pierce resistance, and no slashing resistance, so it's not that hard. What about the Scarlet Fury? Scarlet Fury has 5 crush, 5 pierce. Okay, so I have a sword, so at least there's that. Did he finish casting critically hits, or did he not cast healing on Healing Touch on her? Okay, we've hit Rhombus a couple times, but did almost no damage.
I did that.
Did you do your attack? Oh, you did? Should raise her dodge, I think. Actually, no, dodge is not going to help her against these guys because they're using. Yeah, I'm going to keep her on accuracy. Just try to take out this one first. Entry, you also cast your goddamn healing spell already.
As you command.
Melee engaged verse. Okay. Is Lantry not doing anything? What's going on? Scarlet Fury hits Rhombus. Burst its Horde for 8. Okay, this one's almost dead. This one's also almost dead. Horde hits first for 12. Why aren't you healing her? God. There we go. He's about to cast her. And Barrack took 1 slashing damage. Barrack has crazy slashing resistance. Well, no, he doesn't have slashing. He just has crazy resistance to everything. Especially against Pierce. But nothing against Crush. And Fire. Damn, I took damage? Should cast some more on myself.
I got it.
Oh yes, kill the target. Okay, so Barrack should now take out this one next to Scarlet. Get everybody else to focus on Rhombus. Nice, okay. 25 health to Verse, that's good. And now you can focus on... I wonder if this stacks. I don't think it does. I'm just gonna give it to this guy. just finish his ability, so just
As you command.
on him. They grazed me for 8 damage, not bad. Although that is a lot of health gone. I'm gonna use this. Yeah, I'm gonna use this now. Okay, Horde grazes verse for 9 slashing damage. She's fine, I think. They should be able to take out this guy. Burning Iron. What does that do? I think it's just fire weapons. Okay. Horde grazes Rhombus. Titan touch on Barrack. Damn, who did they hit? Did they hit? Party member finishes ability Rhombus. Okay, so Rhombus can now... let's see, so who has the better dodge and who's the better parry? She has good dodge, very bad parry. She also has bad parry, so they're very good at dodging. So... versus endurance, though. What's their endurance? 14? Both 14? Okay, so I might be able to overpower her with the shield. Let's do that. Damn, they hit Lantry. 9 burning damage to Lantry. Versus Horde. Okay, destroyed that target. Now we can focus these ones down. You are going to change your battle stance now. And go attack this guy. You're doing special. I'll save that for when Rhombus is almost done. What are you doing now? Cast Might on this guy, right? So might as well just continue attacking. Ooh, critically hit me for 15 damage, but my health is almost full, so I think I'm okay. Match 3 hit it for 7 piercing. It's injured now. I think these guys also have about 50 health.
I will have your head!
Am I actually killing these guys? What's the deal? Scarlet Fury activates Fury's Embrace. He already used Shield Bash, so... Versus parry. Oh yeah, they have shitty parry, so I'm just gonna...
Will do.
Hit Rhombus, that's okay. Again, they both missed Rhombus. Right, because this thing, it's like... the deflection. Now let's see what the actual math is on this. Will it show me? Oh, it used to be you could click on it. It's only for the hits, I guess. Oh no, there we go. Yeah, so... they have a 32 plus 8, so 40 accuracy against my 58 defense. They rolled a 40. Wait, so what did they roll? They rolled 40 minus, so then... Wait a second, I'm confused. They rolled 40 plus the 40. Or is that the total? Whatever was in this. Let's see this one. This one they rolled a 50. Okay, so it would have been a graze. But then my deflection ability, I guess, reduced it to a miss. I hope that's how it works. Character hit Rhombus. So this one actually did hit, so let's see. Okay, so yeah, this one they rolled an 18, which is a graze. And it doesn't say deflection next to it, so I'm guessing that means it just didn't, deflection didn't happen to work that time. Yeah, might as well cast Might on myself. I still don't have that. And I'm still casting this spell.
Can't do
Misses Rhombus. You know, let's see what the roll was. It was 17 and then deflection. Okay.
that.
Yeah, the deflection abilities definitely seems to be working very well. Kicker hit Rhombus. It's good. They're all attacking Rhombus, but now he's taking serious damage. And what's this? Graze plus 2.12 armor slash stolen? So I guess that means my slashing defense is reduced? Let's see. Do I really have so little armor? Gosh, I need way better armor. Okay, okay. So far, so good. Maybe I should use this.
No leaving till you're
Oh, what's going on?
dead!
I also don't know why they keep saying like +1 something over here. Am I getting experience points? Oh crap, Lantry is almost dead. Jesus. We need to take out this archer. You too. Okay, finish his ability. Now we're going to use this on this guy.
That was a success.
Did she ever change her stance on gun control? No, she didn't. Can't seem to get her to do that.
Hope you fancy bread.
Are you casting the spell that I told you to? Doesn't look like it. Come on. Damn, it keeps attacking Lantry. Okay, everybody needs to attack this guy. Nice. That's a great sound. Damn, did he take a wound? He did. Fuck. I'm gonna have to use a potion. Okay, it's for 4. Barrack hits 14. Verse hits for 8, so that's now at 22, 26. And Lantry hit for 5, so 26. Plus 5, so it's at 31 damage for this Scarlet Fury. We need to change her stance again. Actually, you should just try to take her out. Entry hits for 4, so it's now at 36, I believe.
I can't take much.
Injured. Damn, but he's still bleeding, isn't Fuck, and he can't be healed. Fuck. We just have to end this battle, like, very quickly. Oh, he can heal himself.
As you...
Hits first for 16 piercing damage. Jeez, at point blank range? Like, there's no disadvantage for that? Just 40 versus the 26 defense. Dodge. Minus 11. Why doesn't it say advantage? Maybe she has advantage because they're close? Guess she just rolled a really high number.
Command.
Heal yourself, man. Might as well do this attack.
I will aid you.
Bleed!
Cast a might on myself.
Out, you little shit.
Oh yeah, you still have to attack. Did he heal himself at all? Lantry. Said he cast a spell. Oh, he heals for 33 health. Okay, it's just not that much. Damn it, it just keeps attacking. Jesus, now he's on fire too? God damn. There's no way to, like, stop her. I should have gone for the ranger first. Throw Robinson first. Okay. They gotta take both of these guys out, like, very quickly. It's the only chance. What's the range on this? Okay, so maybe I should taunt it. Taunt this. Does it work only when one enemy? Harassment enemy, so...
Sweet merciful Kairos, not a...
Damn, he's gonna fucking die. Maybe extra vitality will help him somehow.
I'll take care of it.
Okay, good. He's dead. He's dead. Okay. You three attack him. Gonna switch your bow. Change to accuracy. Oh, I see. Yeah, you have to disengage it and then...
I can't take much more of this.
Oh, crap. He's gonna die. Fuck. Because he doesn't have any items equipped that can actually... Crap. There's nothing.
I got it. Shield
Slam. Just throw everything you can at him, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
You got it.
Knocked out Lantry, so I hope that means he's not dead. Just says he knocked out. I think they only die when they get a certain number of wounds, so hopefully that's not game over. It would really suck if it was.
Feel my...
9 damage promise. Okay, that's not bad. Shield slam, might as well. Thrombus. Ooh, that sounds cool.
Are we ready for this?
I will.
Did he kill it finally? Wow. That was stressful. Please tell me he's still alive. By the righteous shedding of blood, we have found our answer. Regrettably, it appears the sage is worthy of leaving our camp alive. The Fifth Eye offers a short, mocking bow to Lantry. By the custom set forth of the voices of Narat, you are free to go, old man. Brag to your grandkids that you fell afoul of the chorus, yet lived to tell the story. To the old man, are you hurt? Not in any lasting capacity. I'm jostled, but fine. Now, I believe I have a parchment to translate, lest I anger the powers that be. I was so afraid he was going to die. Well, much of the parchment has weathered, but I could make out the important parts of the text. The note makes mention of a meeting spot west of Trip Nettle. So, the old sage knows his words after all. I'd ask that you travel ahead and see if you can't get this Captain Florian to yield to the chorus. They will strike at first sight of a chorus gang, but perhaps they will parley if yours is the face they see. I know the area, and I suggest we go at once. I'll show you the way. I'm eager to be far from the stench of this camp. You're offering to come with me. Why? Because the alternative is, what? Living here with these illiterate brutes? My old study is under a river of fire and there's no family missing me. Besides, I'd much rather chronicle the binder that twice proclaimed an edict of Kairos. I'd be a fool to let someone else write your story. Fine. If you're so eager, come with me. Splendid. You won't be disappointed. I know I may seem old and frail, but I know how to step lightly and how not to get killed. Except for that last battle. Really, I won't slow you down. Lead the way, and let me know if I can be of service. Are we done here? Let's hightail it to Trip Nettle. If your new pet doesn't behave himself along the way, I'm not above clipping his ears. Phew. Okay, so how do wounds work? Does he not have any wounds left? How do wounds work? Wounded. When a party member takes damage, they will start to lose health. The health bar next to the portrait will start to decrease. When a party member's health drops low enough, they will gain a wound, and the health bar will turn red. Wounded characters have their maximum health reduced. Wounds are removed when the party rests or when a character levels up. Wounds are powerful afflictions that last until a character rests. Each wound reduces a character's maximum health. Wounds can stack, adding their penalties together and making it hard for a character to continue through combat. When a character gains enough wounds, the party should rest and allow them to recover. Wounds are gained when a character falls unconscious. When their health reaches 0 during combat, on harder difficulty settings, wounds are also acquired when a character's health falls too low. Okay. Now, do you have a wound still? What is this? Is that penalty because of your wound? Edict, Lantry's Quill. No, it doesn't say he has a wound anywhere. But he did level up, so maybe that's why it's gone. Quill, Sage, Watcher's Judgment. Lantry strikes his target, interrupting them and lowering their non-physical armor. Used from stealth, this attack will also paralyze the target. Renewal. Should have some healing stuff, probably. Oh, interesting. These are for spell. So armor arcane. This is going to be damaging stuff, and this is healing stuff. I think I'll make him a healer. I think this will probably make for more. Oh, I see. He's got 2 points to spend. Could be good if I come across any magic users. Okay. Keep wanting to call him Larry instead of Lantry. And also get to attribute 2 attribute points. Maybe give him a little bit more health. Although the spell cooldown is probably better. It's hard to decide. So many things to do. Level 2, level 2. Oh wow, he's a higher level than all of us. What is this? The Will of Kairos. Oh, is this a new thing? Oh yeah, I received a message. Will of Kairos, Rhombus. Word has reached this court that you have issued the Overlord's edict to the Archons of War and Secrets. Know that we understand fully the weight of this burden and appreciate the loyalty you show in its declaration. Provided you survive this span, your service will be duly recognized. As you navigate the idiosyncrasies and mutual antipathy of our Overlord's War Masters, remember that Kairos watches all with interest. Those who distinguish themselves, whether Fatebinder or Archon, have the opportunity to rise in the Overlord's esteem. Even now, the northern courts whisper that the more successful of the 2 Archons will be granted rule over the whole of the peninsula. Similarly, your fortunes rest upon the decisions you make. Choose wildly. Express dissatisfaction. I will thank him for the advice. 24-hour response time. Archon Tunon, allow me to express my deep appreciation for this opportunity. Few in the Empire have the honor of treating with Archons, and fewer still of reading the empowered words of the Overlord. I endeavor always to emulate your exemplary foresight and judgment. I remain in all things your faithful servant. Fatebinder Rhombus. What are the other options? Archon Tunon, am I to understand that the Edict of Execution applies equally to all within the Valley of Vendrian's Well? Tearsmen and servants of Kairos alike? Is the Overlord truly willing to sacrifice both the Archon of War and the Archon of Secrets, their armies, the farmers and herdsmen of the region, and a Fatebinder of no small skill for the sake of killing a handful of insurgents occupying a crumbling ruin? Is it not said that the Overlord has no desire to rule over a wasteland? I feel like that might get me some... Archon 2-9, allow me to express my deep appreciation for being sent into this arid backwater for the sole purpose of applying the lash to a pair of bickering children. I'm gonna ask for information. Although I have a feeling he's not gonna be happy that I'm questioning our fearless leader. Missive in transit. That's cool, I like that. I like that. Send mail. So do I now have this new... I guess everyone learns the spell. Okay, spectral blur. Or no. Oh, okay, so I can't modify it until I learn this section. Did I get any scrolls? Scroll of Distant Impact. Okay. What way did I go? There we go. Might as well. False Pit. Oh, they can all learn this. That's cool. False Pit. What does it do? Conjure the illusion of an endless black pit below the target, convincing they are falling to their death. The enemy is left prone until they can make sense of the illusion. How does it say hit twice? Okay, so it does damage. It's prone. It's ranged. 8 meters. That could be good. And I can accent it with more intensity, so there's more damage and more range. From 8 to 10 meters. Doesn't really need that much more range. It's pretty far already. It's an area of effect, but only affects foes. Radius of 1 meter. Does this affect the radius? No. I'm gonna do intensity. Oh, but I see, that raises the lore. So this is plus 10, this is plus 20. Oh, you can add multiple. I see. That's very cool. Let's just do intensity then. Oh, but nobody can do intensity. So let's just do range then. And assign that to you. Cool. What does this do? Wait. Can't combine it with the other one? It's a shame. But then can I apply both of these? Requires 45, so no, I cannot do that. Okay. Okie dokie. Alright, that, I think, man, that one battle that we got into was so intense, I think I need to call it quits. Seeing if there's anyone I know that's on. Yeah, no. I was thinking of raiding this channel, but I think they just finished, so not gonna raid tonight. Just gonna take it easy. Yes, overwrite save file. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Hope you have a good night or morning or whatever it is. I'm going to be streaming tomorrow as usual at 8 p.m. We're going to do some D&D one-shots. So if any of you are around, please join us for that. But until then, may all your 20s be natural. Have a good night.